yards. The tackle made by Charles Woodson, and that is the first NFL career carry for rookie free agent Dan Kreider.
And Dan Kreider has been a great surprise for the Pittsburgh offense. He's mainly a blocking back, but you see right there just a little quick trap inside. This guy is explosive and he is powerful. He is the new bus driver in this offense.
And now he's in motion out of the backfield. 1st and 10 from the Raider 48. Stewart right to work with a good block from Danica. A screen pass goes off to Bettis. A block by Smith. A block by Duffy. And he's down to the Raider 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13 yards. Greg Biekert, the strength of the Oakland defense, with the stop. Oakland's defense, #1 in a lot of categories in the NFL. But let's take a look at the Steeler offense. Gandy, Faneca, Duffy, Tilsky, and Marvell Smith. With Bettis and Kreider in the backfield, Hawkins and Hines Ward the receivers, and Mark Bruner is the tight end. They had a season-high 48 points last week from the 35, 1st and 10. And Stewart across the middle. He hits Courtney Hawkins, who got up and slipped by the grass, but Charles Woodson, Marquez Court, knocks him out of bounds. It's a gain of 17 yards, and he's down to the 18-yard line. Hines Ward has done everything. The Oakland defense coming off its best game statistically. Bryant, Jackson, Russell, and Lance Johnstone gets the start battling the bad groin. Thomas, Biekert, and Elijah Alexander are the linebacking core, and in the secondary, Woodson and Allen are the corners. Dorsett and Pope are the safeties.
And Anthony Dorsett, he will be used as that spy to make sure that Cordell Stewart doesn't have big plays, breaking, contain in the scramble.
From the Raider 18, 1st and 10. It goes to Bettis. Down the middle he goes with the Tilsky and Faneca block. He's inside the 15, gaining 3 on the play. And again, right up the middle, he went over 1,000 yards. Last season, he has done that in 7 of his 8 seasons and 5 consecutive seasons here in Pittsburgh.
And he's the workhorse of the Pittsburgh offense. And when you talk to Jerome Bettis, it's not the 1,000 yards that he wants, it's the complete 16-game schedule. He says if he can go out and play all 16 games, he's got the talent to get his 1,000 yards.
It's 2nd down and 7 at the Raider 15. Hines Ward is in motion. Good time for Stewart. Moves up. Now he's hit and brought down. Sacked on the play by Reagan Upshaw. His 4th sack of the season. His 2nd in as many weeks. And he throws Stewart for a loss of 4.
And this is one of the things that Oakland has done throughout the season. They have put tremendous pressure on their quarterbacks, on the opposition. They are relentless, and they have had 9 roughing the passer penalties, but they will not let up. They will come at you. They want that quarterback worried about where the D-line and all the pressure is coming throughout the course of the football game.
Now, when they put out 4 receivers like here, you don't think their offense is as effective.
In a situation like this, they have to, but in 1st down and 2nd down, I think they're a much better football team than the standard traditional 2-back set.
3rd and 11 inside the Raider 20. Good block by Gandy. There's the pass by Stewart to the end zone, and caught was the inbounds. Touchdown, Bobby Shaw. Touchdown pass for Pittsburgh on 3rd and 11. And Cordell Stewart has thrown his 4th touchdown pass in less than 2 games.
And he's off to a great start today. Bobby Shaw, the inside receiver, just runs a corner route. He's got some routes in front of the DBs to occupy them. And Eric Allen is not able to fall back. He beats Marquez Pope to the corner.
And the extra point by Chris Brown is up and in. Cordell Stewart is making his 6th consecutive start today. And he is on fire as the Steelers go up on the Raiders.
When you were sad and lonely.
YMCA. You know you want me. Back off, he's a killer.
At Zales, you can get this 1/2 carat channel band for just $99. And with any purchase of $99 or more, you can get this diamond earring and pendant set for just $29. At Zales stores nationwide or shop online at Zales.com.
Introducing the new Chicken Fiesta Melt from Taco Bell. Grilled white meat chicken smothered in Fiesta salsa and 3 kinds of cheese melted just the way you like it. It's so good, it's practically perfect. Get it for a limited time at the Bell.
The 260 horsepower CL Type S from Acura.
CBS Tuesday. Everyone's favorite reindeer is back.
Ready, Rudolph? Ready, Santa.
Don't miss the family holiday classic, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. CBS Tuesday.
Bobby Shaw was a legend at Cal. He's from San Francisco, the former high school player of the year in San Francisco. And he's just caught his 2nd touchdown pass in as many games.
And what they did is they put Bobby Shaw inside. He's an inside receiver that works the slots, mainly with crossing routes and different type of things to control the middle. But that time they sent him to the corner route, and Oakland didn't adjust.
And the Chris Brown kickoff fielded on the fly by Dunn, a branch block. He also gets a block from Darrell Ashmore, and he pounds his way up near the 31-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. A return of 24 yards. Bobby Shaw and Stewart hook up on the first drive by the Steelers.
Primary crossover valve, open, tank B inlet, closed.
Venture 7, your mission is complete. Time to go.
You heard about Benny the Bison?
No, what?
He never checked out the risk and overall performance of those mutual funds he bought.
Well, Benny's no brain surgeon, right?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we created a smarter kind of investor with tools like the Schwab Select List, which highlights historically high-performing mutual funds. Visit schwabwelcome.com to order a free copy of the Select List.
You don't do your homework, you end up looking ridiculous.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Hewlett-Packard, inventing new ways to live and work. And by Acura, introducing MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
The Oakland Raiders had for their defense their 6th opening drive touchdown allowed. That is the most in the NFL. Second possession after going 3 and out from the 32. 1st and 10. Short drop by Gannon. Looks to his second option. Good blocking by Kennedy. Buying time for Gannon, who has to throw it beyond the reach of Ricky Dudley, who is covered by Chad Scott. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And again, you see what Bill Cowher wants his defensive line to do, and that is to control their rush lanes, get in front of Rich Gannon, don't allow him to escape up the middle of the football field. And if you can't get there, stop, because he's got that sidearm delivery. They really feel that they're going to get a chance to knock down quite a few footballs today.
Is he your NFL MVP through 13 weeks?
I tell you what, he's been impressive, and I think it depends on what the Oakland Raiders do as a football team.
2nd down and 10 from the Raider 32. The fake to Wheatley, who offers a block, and then the pass is caught by Tim Brown at the 40-yard line, grabbed by Chad Scott. And now Tim Brown has caught at least one pass in 121 consecutive games. He picks up 9 right there.
And Tim Brown is the technician of the wide receiver group. He runs everything with precision. Right there, this is just a quick little hook route. It's thrown on time. They're able to deliver the ball before Chad Scott can get there and make a play. Andre Rison is the guy that they are worried about, though. They feel he's the toughest guy to cover. He's got the great feet.
41-yard line for the Hall of Famer to be Brown after the gain of 9. 3rd down and 1. Couple tight ends. Brown in motion. Handoff to Wheatley. Climbs over defenders. Hurdles to the 46 and has the first down. Brent Alexander and Lee Flowers, along with Dwayne Washington, stop him after a gain of 5 and a first down for the Raiders.
And some great penetration by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Earl Holmes gets way up into the field. You see Tyrone Wheatley with the great vision, the great balance to be able to bounce that outside. That's what you're doing in short yardage. You know where they're going to attack you because you've watched film. Good adjustment by Tyrone Wheatley.
And I assume he's healthy.
They say he's the healthiest he's been in about 5 weeks.
Miami an early lead on Buffalo, as you see. From the 46, 1st down and 10 for the Raiders, who punted after their first possession. Gannon back to work. Pump fakes. Good block by the line, including Sims, who now lets Aaron Smith free, but the pass is caught by running back Tyrone Wheatley. It's a gain of 8 on the play. A flag is down, and the ball is marked at the 47-yard line. Tom White is our referee today, and his crew braving the elements, but actually a pretty nice day for football, though it's only about 32 degrees with a slight breeze.
Nice if you're in the booth. That's right. I was down on the field. It was a little bit chilly down there.
Illegal contact. Number 30, defense. The quarterback was in the pocket at the time of the contact. It's a 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And that's former first-rounder Chad Scott. He got burned a couple times last week by Cincinnati.
They have played well at times. Dwayne Washington has played well at times. Chad Scott has played well at times, but they haven't had that one complete game together.
Napoleon Kaufman is in the backfield. It's a first down for the Raiders. First time they've been in Steeler territory at the 49. The pitch out, going to Kaufman with a block from Sims, and he's run out of bounds by Lee Flowers at the 48-yard line after a meager gain of 1. Let's send it off to Fifth Avenue, our NFL Today studios, and Jim Nance.
All right, Kevin, and watch this. 2 players returning to the Dolphins lineup, Fiedler and Smith. They hook up here on their opening drive. Miami 7-0. Let's go back to you.
Thank you, Jim. Fiedler has that shoulder injury that forced him to miss last week in Indianapolis when Hewitt came in and led him to a win over the Colts. Second down, 9 from the 48. Again, a good block by Kennedy. Time to sidearm pass, and it's caught by Ritchie for a gain of 4 at the 45 and brought down by Holmes. So that'll set up third down and about 6 to go as you take a look at Earl Holmes, who leads the team in tackles for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Bill Cowher feels bad that he might have overcoached Earl Holmes last week against Cincinnati. Everybody knows about their struggles against the run the last 2 weeks. And when we talked with Bill Cowher, he said, you know what, I might have talked to him a little bit too much. I took away his aggressive style of play. We'll see if he gets back to the way he was playing a few weeks ago today.
Rising is in. Third down and 5 inside the Steeler 45. We'll see their third down conversion rate for the season. Good block by Sims. Gannon throws a pass right through the hands of Andre Rison, which would have been good for a Raider first down. He had no catches last week, shut out against the Falcons. Loses a possible first down reception right there. 4th and 5 upcoming. The Raiders punt for a second time.
And Andre Rison comes in motion. It's man-to-man coverage. That's going to get him the separation. The ball is delivered. Andre's got to make that catch. As you pointed out, an opportunity to convert a first down, to come back and match Pittsburgh's drive with some points, but a drop ball prevents that.
That's a killer as Leckler's punt is set high. A flag is down. Hawkins retrieves it at the 10. A flag down across the way, and as it stands right now, a 34-yard punt with almost 5 seconds worth of hang time. The game last week the Raiders played against the Atlanta Falcons was filled with penalties on both sides. The Raiders in first place in the AFC West, tied with Minnesota for the best record in the NFL. They've got the best record in the AFC. They've got a tie-breaking problem, though, against the Denver Broncos. They are 0-2 against the Broncos this year. Denver 2 games in back of Oakland coming into today.
And they have to go to New Orleans this afternoon and play, and Oakland is looking for a little bit of help. They don't need any help. They control their own destiny. If they win out, they will have home field advantage. But they are looking for New Orleans to try and help them out a little bit today against the Denver Broncos. They have won both of those meetings this season in their AFC matchup.
Another penalty against Pittsburgh.
The receiving team during the kick. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards. Timeout. First down for a Raiders.
So a timeout taken. Andre Rison, who has been an inspiration for this team, losing a possible first down reception moments ago. Cordell Stewart has thrown a touchdown pass of 19 yards. The Steelers come into today having lost 3 of their last 4 games. They've been a very streaky team this season. Before that stretch, they had won 5 in a row, which puts them in a place right now, very tricky place, of looking over the edge and thinking about the playoffs, but having to win the rest of the way.
Yeah, and even if they do that, they're going to have some help. They could be one of those teams that finds themselves at 10-6 or 9-7 without an opportunity to get into the playoffs.
Madison Kreider in the eye after the big punt and the Pittsburgh penalty at the 5. The Steelers are marooned 1st and 10. It's Bettis with a nice block by Faneca, opening up room. Kreider led the way. Biekert makes the tackle out near the 13-yard line, and gain of 8. He is still one of the most popular Steelers in Pittsburgh.
And he is the heart and soul of this offensive football team. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Cordell Stewart down the stretch to perform because it's important for the production from the quarterback position. But if they ever get in trouble, they know they can just turn around and hand the ball off to Jerome Bettis.
So after the gain of 8, he has a 2nd down and 2 up near the 13-yard line. Bruno, the tight end, on the move. A block by Kreider. Big hole. Another big block thrown by Faneca. And out to the 20-yard line with the tackle made by Marquez Pope on a gain of 8 is Bettis. Consecutive 8-yard gains and more breathing space for the Steelers.
And one of the things that Jerome Bettis really feels that's important to him is being on that field for 16 weeks. He feels it as a big back. That is his responsibility. He's got to be a physical runner. He's got to be reliable. If not, they can go out and get a smaller back that might not be as durable because he can play an abbreviated schedule during the course of a season.
And he's healthy too, which is big news in Pittsburgh from the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Bringing the blitz. Blocked well. Here comes Russell. There's the pass by Stewart. Almost picked off, incomplete. Hines Ward was jousting with Charles Woodson, and an incomplete pass at about the 30-yard line. Woodson, the former Heisman Trophy winner out of Michigan.
And we've talked about what the Oakland Raider defensive line does. Here you'll see Josh Taves and Darrell Russell coming in. They get some shots, and there it is again. Is it close? Is it roughing the passer? And John Gruden has talked to his players. You have to know when to let off and not hit the quarterback and take them to the ground. They've had 9 called on him this year, the most by anybody in the NFL, and it's a problem that's kind of a fine line because they don't want to take away the aggression.
2nd down and 10 from the 20. Handoff again to Bettis. Wrapped up and brought down nicely on the play by Reagan Upshaw for no gain. Right about the 20-21-yard line. Upshaw had been starting for the injured Lance Johnstone, and those two are interchangeable parts at that end.
And they're going to need Lance Johnstone to be healthy down the stretch. He's really their only blue-chip speed pass rusher, and they've got to have him healthy if they're going to make a run deep into the playoffs. So they're going to sit him down a little bit during the course of today's game and throughout the rest of the season to make sure he's ready to go when the playoffs start.
And he is their best pass rusher.
By far, by far.
3rd down and 10, just outside the Pittsburgh 20 for the Steelers. A Cordell Stewart touchdown pass, 7-0 Pittsburgh. Great block by Gandy. Time for Stewart. Fires the pass, and it's caught. Hines Ward, 36-yard line. He was in a pool of Raider double teams. A 15-yard gain on the play on 3rd and 10 for Hines Ward. Truly their best wide receiver.
Well, you talk, watch Richard Huntley right here on this chip block. You talked about Wayne Grady's block. Look at that. Boom! That'll slow Reagan Upshaw down on his pass rush, and that's what you have to do when you have an aggressive front. You give them a little chip as you go by and get their attention so they're not trying to race that corner on your tackle.
Bettis by himself with a couple tight ends, 37-yard line. It's 1st down and 10 for Stewart. Steeler offense looks crisp and sharp. The fake handoff. Here's the chase by Upshaw and by Russell, and he throws it into oblivion and almost picked off on the play by Eric Allen. Not a smart move by Cordell Stewart. It'll be 2nd down and 10. He had Upshaw and Russell breathing down his back.
And this is a play-action pass with a bootleg out to the right. Reagan Upshaw does a good job of maintaining contain, but as you pointed out, Cordell Stewart makes a poor decision. He cannot throw that ball into the middle of the football field. Throw it out of bounds, take away the bad play, the interception, and go on to the next play.
2nd down and 10 from the 37. Handoff to Bettis, grabbed by Grady Jackson, devoured by Jackson behind the line. So quick, so fast. Jackson with the big play on Bettis.
And he beat Rich Tilsky real quick. You talked about it. He's in the backfield. Actually, Dan Kreider might have been able to give him a shot. He was beat that quick. You'll see right here, this is where the matchup's going to be. He's going to beat him immediately. Oh, it's a stunt as he comes around the nose. There you go. A little nose tackle stunt that gets Grady Jackson freed up, working together with Darrell Russell. Dan Kreider's got to see that. He can't run past the opposite color. That's not his man, but block him so you give Jerome Bettis a chance.
Raider defense, #1 in the NFL against the run. 3rd and 13, back at the 34 with the loss. Little shovel pass, caught by Huntley, grabbed by Torrey James and ridden down. The ex-Denver Bronco, James, with the tackle. There's some of that #1 ranked rush defense of the Oakland Raiders. In fact, they're going to force the Steelers to punt.
And that's a much different Oakland Raiders defense than we saw on the opening drive. They got back to their aggressive style of play. You saw all the pressure on Cordell Stewart. He didn't have a whole lot of time to throw. On the opening drive, he was able to sit in the pocket. And if you let Cordell Stewart do that, he will beat you.
Defensive coordinator Chuck Bresnahan with some tweaking of that defense. Josh Miller will punt. Got a good block from Huntley. Darian Gordon retrieves it back at the 15-yard line. Breaks one tackle of Alexander, chased by Fiala. He is blocked. It's a nice block up the sideline by David Dunn, and then races for a good gain. He is averaging this year 7 yards per punt return. He's a career 12 yards per punt return.
CBS is sponsored by First Union, your guide to the financial world. And by MSN, everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
One of America's most enduring corporate images, the Goodyear blimp, is floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Goodyear is one of 6 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet. With these wonderful scenics of the Golden Triangle here in beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the new stadium there in the foreground. We're in that circular Three River Stadium, second to last game being played. Redskins in a couple weeks will be the finale, then they'll demolish it in February. From the 41, first down and 10, handoff goes to Wheatley with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Earl Holmes and Aaron Smith were in there making the stop for the Steeler defense. And only 8 yards and 4 carries today for Wheatley. It'll be second down and about 11. Wheatley goes to the side. Kaufman takes his place. Second and 11 at the 40. A block by Dudley, but the defense scraping in, and the pass to Kaufman is incomplete across the way. Gilden, the great linebacker, was trailing that speedy Napoleon Kaufman. Incomplete pass. Gannon is a meager 2 of 6 throwing today.
And right now, the Oakland Raiders offense is out of sync, but to me, the biggest problem on both sides of the football, they're playing without emotion. They have not locked up anything right now. They have put themselves in a position to do some good things, but they have got to win out to control their own destiny. And right now, they are not playing like a football team that wants to have home field advantage.
Third and 11 at the 40-yard line. Gannon winds up, throws in the side. The catch by Jet. Was he in? Yes, he was, and gains 12 yards on 3rd and 11. And a great play by Jet, who caught the big touchdown pass last week against Atlanta. Let's send it off to our NFL studios in Jim Nantz.
Wow, that was some catch there. Let me show you a run here for a touchdown by the Broncos. Mike Anderson, 13 yards, gives him 1,000 on the season. 3rd different back in 3 years for Denver to have a 1,000-yard season. 7-0 Denver, and let's go back to you.
And Jim, that Denver offense has been outstanding. 76 points coming into today over the last 2 games. Now 82 points over the last handful of games. And the handoff goes to Wheatley, stiff-arming his way on 1st and 10 to the Steeler 43. Brent Alexander forces him out, a gain of 5 on the play.
Last week, the Cincinnati Bengals, they tried to out-scheme the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in their running game. Dick LeBeau, the guy who really orchestrated this defense that Dom Capers helped them build, knows how to attack it. And what they did by formation and personnel was overload sides. You saw John Ritchie move from the fullback spot up to the wing on the tight end and then them run a stretch play to that side. They're trying to create a point where they can out-leverage the defense.
Second down and 5 from the Steeler 43. Brown is on the move. Gannon back to pass. A block by Barrett Robbins. That's off the fingertips of Tyrone Wheatley on the side with Chad Scott bearing down on him. The second dropped Raider pass today. Incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. And for a complete breakdown of all playoff scenarios, including updates of the conclusion of each game, click on NFL at cbs.sportsline.com. Here, Cordell Stewart has thrown a touchdown pass of 19 yards on the opening drive for the Steelers, and they lead it 7-0. It's 3rd down and 5. Raiders at the Steeler 43. Jordan's in the backfield. A block by Dudley, a block by Sims. Time in the pass, caught by Jet across the middle. And he's got a first down at the Steeler 24-yard line. He was working on Dwayne Washington, gain of 19 yards on the play, and the second consecutive third down reception for James Jett.
And James Jett is a guy who has really lost production in his numbers because of the emergence of Andre Rison, but you can see the team player and the role player that he is. He stays with it. He knows what his contributions to this football team can be, and he's made 3 critical third down conversions on this drive. Or 2. I'm sorry, 2.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers are leading the Oakland Raiders 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, and we'll return to Three Rivers Stadium here in Pittsburgh right after this message from your local station. A developing story here in the end of the first quarter going to the top of the second. We find that Cordell Stewart is being attended to by the medical staff of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And on the side warming up is Kent Graham. We begin the second quarter with the 7th play of the Oakland drive, by far their best of the day, from the 24. Handoff goes to Wheatley and brought down by Levon Kirkland and Kevin Henry and Kimo von Oelhoffen and Earl Holmes on a gain of about 2 yards on the play. Second down and about 8 from the 22.
And right now, the Oakland Raiders don't have great numbers in their running game, but they're one of 3 teams that has run the ball more than they have thrown the football. John Gruden will commit to the running game, and he will stay with it because the passing game is built off their success or their attempt at success in the running game.
Second down and 8 from the 22. Good block by Sims. Dumps it off to Wheatley, and again, an incomplete pass to running back Tyrone Wheatley, who comes into today with 20 receptions, but twice they've gone to him, and twice he couldn't snare it. Incomplete pass, 3rd and 8.
Well, the first one, I think you heard some footsteps coming. He had Chad Scott and Earl Holmes, and he kind of short-armed that one a little bit. But that one, the last one there, they're just out of sync. They're not on tune the way they have been in the past. When we've seen Rich Gannon get into trouble and move and scramble, everybody seems to be on the same page. Today, they're misfiring a little bit in those situations.
James Jett will be at the top of your screen. He's had 2 big third down receptions on this drive. 3rd and 8 from the Steeler 22. A block by Sims and Wisniewski. A wobbly pass is incomplete down the middle. I don't know if that was deflected at the line, but was very un-Gannon-like. An incomplete pass. Joey Porter may have been coming up in the face of Gannon. It's 4th down and 8, and they'll have to settle for 3, and Pittsburgh's defense does their job.
They've been doing it all day, and they know how important it is for Oakland to get on track in their running game, and they have done a very, very good job up until this point. And they have played very poorly the last 2 weeks against the run. They've had some good backs that they've gone up against, but this defense is too good to let the numbers that they've had happen to them over the last 2 weeks happen.
Holding will be Leckler. 40-yard drive by Sebastian Janikowski. The Adam True snap, and the kick is up, and the Raiders are on the board. A long drive. Some big third downs converted by receiver James Jett, and the 40-yard field goal by Janikowski. The Oakland Raiders are off to their best start since 1976. They're 10-2 coming into today. Sebastian Janikowski just nailed a 40-yard field goal, and it's 7-3 on a Cordell Stewart touchdown pass. Here's Hank Poteet at the 5-yard line. A block from Blackwell, and he's out past the 25 and doused at the 27-yard line by Eric Johnson. 23-yard return by Poteet. And a new quarterback for the Steelers. That story when we come back. And played a little bit last week in Cincinnati, and he is in because Cordell Stewart has a sprained right knee and will not return. He is the 9th quarterback knocked out by the Raider defense this year. Unbelievable. From the 27-yard line, Graham, the new quarterback. He was the season starter, by the way. 1st down and 10. Graham looking one way, no one there. Intercepted. Picked off by Eric Allen. His 50th career interception is a Raider touchdown. Graham's first interception of the season. The second interception in as many games for veteran Eric Allen.
Not the way you want to start when you're coming into a football game. He looks the other way. He comes back late to the opposite side. He does not see Eric Allen jump in front of Hines Ward. That is number 50. And Eric told us if he got 50 that his wife was going to make him an apple pie for his 50th interception, his favorite pie. So Eric has an apple pie waiting for him when he has a long flight back from Pittsburgh.
Start cooking, honey. Eric Allen with the touchdown. And Graham with a rude awakening. The Raiders have their first lead today.
I wouldn't.
What?
I just wouldn't.
Wouldn't what?
Wouldn't do what you're doing.
I'm buying a patio set. What's wrong with buying a patio set?
There are people in there, my friend. People you don't know. Some good, some not so good. You want to give them your charge card?
I'm not worried.
You're not worried?
I've got people in there, too.
Check this out. It's the Net Vista S40 desktop. It's got an Intel Pentium 3 processor, USB ports, cool design. And when you buy it at IBM.com, there's a call me button you can click, and within 5 minutes, a tech expert like Leon will call and answer any questions.
I'll be home soon. Yeah. Yeah. You know who I'll be?
CBS is sponsored by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, Proof of Life. Coming soon to theaters everywhere. American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at guaranteed low prices.
Raiders have their first lead, 10-7 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Graham throwing his first touchdown or interception since last November, 150 attempts as you see. Eric Allen, his 6th career touchdown interception. And Blackwell will take it from the 5, wrapped up by Jerry Porter, a rookie wide receiver, and brought down after a return of 25 yards. Yeah, the defense of the Raiders have certainly terrorized quarterbacks.
They really have. And we already talked about the fact that they will put pressure on the quarterback. They've had the roughing the passer penalties, but this is all part of it. I mean, when you're dropping back in that pocket and you know what they have done throughout the course of the season, you're going to be thinking a little bit about that rush as much as you are about where your receivers are and how that pass play is going to develop.
And John Kitten to that list, too. In fact, Kitten and Heward were in the same game back out at the Coliseum. Second down. First down and 10 from the 29. Handoff goes to Bettis, a block by Kreider, and the bus rolls out into the grasp of Roderick Coleman. And a gain of 4 on the play, and mark him at about the 33-yard line.
We'll go back and take a look at the injury to Cordell Stewart. You'll watch the low tackle come in here after he throws the football. The ball is delivered, and right there, boom, right on the right knee. Hopefully not a serious injury and maybe just out for the rest of today's game, but hopefully able to come back next week. He finally felt like he was truly comfortable in his situation as the quarterback.
Second down and 6 from the 33. The reverse, and it goes to Hines Ward from Bettis, and Graham blocked, chased by Dorsett, and there is out of bounds. And Markham out of play at about the 35 on a gain of 3. Let's go to Jim Nance in New York.
All right, Kevin, down in New Orleans, Aaron Brooks, a perfect 8 for 8 at the start of this game. And he finds Andrew Glover with a tying touchdown at the end of the first quarter. Let's go back to you.
Saints come in 8-4. Broncos go into that game 8-4 today.
What a story. Losing Jeff Blake and Ricky Williams and Aaron Brooks stepping up the way he is. That's just an outstanding job by the Saints.
It's 3rd and 3 outside the 35 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Graham, the shotgun snap from Duffy. Grabbed and taken down, sacked by Coleman. Roderick Coleman, his 4th sack of the season. He's from nearby Philadelphia. That's the 2nd Raider sack today. And Graham has looked ineffective in his first 2 series.
And here's Roderick Coleman coming right off the nose, running another twist. We saw the twist earlier on a running play, and then he just takes the lineman all the way back into the Roger Duffy just walked him back to the quarterback for the sack.
Darian Gordon is deep back at a 23-yard return the last time. Here's the Miller punt. And a high rocket which lands at the 13, ricochets to the 10, then rolls out of bounds shy of the 13-yard line. They had Deshae Townsend chasing it all over the field. Great hang time and a 53-yard punt. Timeout.
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
After throwing a touchdown pass of 19 yards, the Steelers have lost Cordell Stewart for the day with the right knee. And adverse conditions for Coach Bill Cowher. Worst beginning field position for the Raiders at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Jet in motion, handoff goes to Wheatley, runs into Kimo von Oelhoffen, and slides out to about the 18-yard line on a gain of 5. And coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, join Jim, Mike, and Randy. A lot of scores and highlights, plus the latest NFL news, and a report from the Colts-Jets game. All next on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. How does a team respond to the starting quarterback being gone?
Well, not only that the quarterback is gone, but also that you've just given up 10 quick points. It'll be interesting to see if this Steelers team is ready to take those steps to play hard throughout the stretch.
On the 18, 2nd down and 5, another option. There it goes, caught by David Dunn. The angular former Steeler receiver, now a Raider, brought down by Jason Gilden on the play. Spot him at about the 23 and a 1st down for the Oakland Raiders on a gain of 6.
And David Dunn is a big guy. I was down on the field prior to kickoff and was walking around, and he went by me. As a kick returner, he's a big guy, but then as a receiver, and you see Jason Gilding, the man covering him out in the short flat, that's still a pretty good matchup from a size standpoint.
1st and 10, Raiders at the 24. Brown on the move, the Barrett Robbins center, the handoff to Wheatley, plowing up the middle, got a block from Kennedy, rolls over Alexander, brought down in the secondary by Dwayne Washington. A rumble of 23 yards and up to the 47-yard line for Tyrone Wheatley, who's coming off an 85-yard performance last week against Atlanta.
And this is just all individual effort. You'll see right there, he should be stopped with about a 7-yard gain. Look at this one right here as he goes right over Brent Alexander and all the way across the field, the cornerback position to make the tackle. Tyrone Wheatley is the guy that will run hard between the tackles that really inspires guys. Lincoln Kennedy says it really gets him going when he sees him running hard and physically.
From the 47, 1st and 10, it's Napoleon Kaufman eaten alive. On the top of the pile was Kirkland, but Earl Holmes made that play click. A loss of a yard.
And they do a really good job with Levon Kirkland and Earl Holmes in blitzing the middle of the line between the guards for the Oakland Raiders offense. And they'll get up and step up. They had penetration right there. Earl Holmes is able to come through and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Penetration is the key to disrupting a good running game, and we've talked about the Raiders, the #1 rushing team in the NFL, against the defense that has struggled against the run, but you can see today already that they are playing very, very good against the run, the Steelers defense.
2nd down and about 13 from the 44. The fake handoff to Kaufman. The pass to the sideline is caught by Rison. His first catch today, close to a Raider 1st down, near the 44. It's a gain of 12. Lee Flowers makes the stop, and coming into today, Raiders in 1st place in the AFC West, best record in the AFC overall, and tied with Minnesota for the best record in the NFL.
And you can see where Pittsburgh has found themselves. We talked about their season. They start out 0-3, they win 5 in a row, then they lose 3 in a row again. They found themselves at 6-6, and they're going to have to play very well down the stretch and have some help if they're going to get into the playoffs.
3rd down 1 from the 44. Wheatley gets the call. Brought down by Brent Alexander and Chad Scott. Boy, they came flying from the Steelers secondary for the stop on the tough Tyrone Wheatley run.
Well, a lot of people will talk about the way that the corners for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dwayne Washington and Chad Scott, have played in pass coverage, but they are excellent run support players too. They'll play a lot of cover two where they're going to be able to get involved in the running game, and Brent Alexander getting a little bit of a payback right there for getting run over by Tyrone Wheatley earlier on that drive.
Rookie Shane Leckler will punt. Snap by Adam True. And they're going to fair catch this with Courtney Hawkins retrieving it back at about the 13-yard line. What in the world were they thinking?
That is just a total lapse of concentration by Jeremy Brigham. That's inexcusable.
32-yard punt, but the flags are all over the field, and a frustrated John Gruden marching on the sideline.
It's a good thing that that visor has got that shade over his eyes, because you do not want to see the look on his face.
I saw a Raider fan last week with a Chucky doll dressed up like Gruden. And, you know, really, when he squints like that, he gets that look in his eye.
He's one of those guys, he doesn't have to say a word. When you're coming off the sideline, he can just look at you, and you know you are in a whole heap of trouble.
Maybe my most favorite NFL coach. I love talking to him. He has gained such incredible respect from this team that was rudderless until he arrived a couple of years ago.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness against the maker of the catch. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down, timeout.
Well, a costly penalty, and that's the one thing the Raiders have got to guard against as they make their march through the AFC, and we have a timeout.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gateway. In Gateway Country, people rule. And by Wendy's Spicy Chicken. When you're hot, you're hot.
The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company has dispatched its Ohio-based blimp, Spirit of Goodyear, to provide great aerial views of today's game. They've been covering sporting events since 1925. Not that particular blimp, but blimps like that. Oakland on top. Eric Allen with an interception of 27 yards for a touchdown. And it is 10-7 the Raiders, who, by the way, can get a playoff berth today if they beat Pittsburgh, and then losses or ties by both Buffalo and Indianapolis. From the 29-yard line, third possession for quarterback Kent Graham. Picked off the first time, 3 and out the second. Fake handoff. And here comes the rush. Alexander coming on one side, and Grady Jackson coming up from the middle. Sacked for a second time, the slow-footed Kent Graham. A loss of 9. Grady Jackson with his 6th sack of the season.
And again, we have pressure from the inside with Grady Jackson. And again, it's a twist going around to the outside. He gets Rich Tilsky on his heels. And that's the thing you lose with Cordell Stewart out of the lineup. Kent Graham does not have near the mobility that Cordell Stewart has. Protection has got to be paramount for this offensive line now to keep Kent Graham healthy.
Steelers have to get their shorts on straight. Second down and 19. Hand off to Bettis. Block on the play by Kreider and by Shaw, as you see toward the end. And just a small gain of 2. John Stone and Dorsett make the stops for the Oakland Raiders up at the 22-yard line. It'll be 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 17.
Well, the Oakland Raiders offense gets a lot of credit because of what Rich Gannon has done, but the defense is just playing outstanding football also this year. There's Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders, and I think that this is really the underrated unit, and these guys have done a tremendous job today because the Oakland Raiders offense has been very flat. They've given them the touchdown. They've given them the lead.
Huntley is in 3rd and 17 from the 22. Here comes Taves, and the ball batted down by Darrell Russell, and Taves. Russell's a tall fella, but Taves comes in at about 6'6", 6'7". A horrible beginning for Kent Graham, taking the place of the injured Cordell Stewart.
Well, he doesn't really sell this screen. He just kind of drops back in his normal protection area, and he doesn't let the defense bite on it. He's got to drift back a little bit more, create some separation, and be able to dump that ball over the lineman's head as they come rushing in.
And you got 6'5" Russell and 6'7" Taves coming at you, baby. Duck. Duck. Darian Gordon will retrieve the punt from Josh Miller. And Gordon, the ex-San Diego Charger and Denver Bronco, bobbled it, ricochets off his chest, and pounces on it at the 28. A 54-yard punt, 4.3-second hang time by Miller on Friday on CBS. Dr. Richard Kimball thought Atlantic City would be the perfect place to hide. But in a town full of mobsters, he's about to run out of luck. Don't miss an all-new episode of The Fugitive Friday on CBS. Eric Allen with the interception and subsequent touchdown. The Steeler defense has been good, but the Raider defense beginning to tighten their screws on the other side. It's kind of an interesting possession for the Raiders right before halftime, just under 7 to play and leading by 3. Outside the 29, 1st and 10. You can see what they've done on first down today. Play action, blocked by Sims. Time for gain. That ball is bobbled and dropped by James Jett. I don't know that he would have been in bounds anyway. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, it seems like James Jett is going to be the featured guy this year, and you can look at what Rich Gannon has done. He's going to be looking for him throughout the course of the afternoon. Look at the progression he's had and where he will be this year. The last 2 seasons with the Oakland Raiders in John Gruden's kind of West Coast style offense, but the one thing that they've thrown into a twist with that is they've got an excellent running game. So it gives him the opportunity to have defenses be wary of that running game and able to get the ball down the field.
Gruden looking at his plays. 2nd down and 10 from the 29. Handoff goes to the slippery Kaufman, who loves to run on carpet. Got by Kevin Henry, and then Flowers runs him out of bounds at about the 31-32 yard line for a gain of roughly 3. We keep talking about James Jett. There was some hesitation. People aren't going to. We were talking about the former punter John Jett before the game. I don't even know why we were talking about it, but sure enough we were, and his name is on our minds today.
It is embedded in our minds right now. And Napoleon Kaufman, he's a guy that I think today can have a big day because he's a lot like Fred Taylor, and Fred Taylor shredded this defense just a couple weeks ago for 234 yards. So look for Napoleon Kaufman to be a bigger player in the running game today.
From the 31, 3rd and a long 7. Good back by Sims. Kennedy finally gets his block. There goes the scrambling Rich Gannon. Seductive move after deceptive fake. And he gets the first down with all that zigzagging on the carpet of Three Rivers Stadium on 3rd and a long 7. He scrambles for 10 and gets the Raiders a much-needed first down.
And you want to talk about a play that will just break the spirit of a defense. Jason Gilden has got him right there. Lincoln Kennedy just lays on top of him, rolls over, keeps him down, but then he's scrambling, and this is where Rich Gannon is at his most dangerous because he has a great idea of where the line of scrimmage is. When the coverage moves up, he will dump the ball over the heads to open wide receivers.
2nd most rushing yards in the NFL behind McNabb over at Philadelphia from the 41. 1st and 10. Fake end around. It's a tackle by Kevin Henry on Kaufman. Or rather on Wheatley in a loose ball. They say a fumble, and Flowers jumps on it. And a turnover by the Oakland Raiders. Raiders with the turnover. They're number 4 in the NFL on the giveaway takeaway. Kevin Henry made the stop on Wheatley, who coughs it up, and Pittsburgh gets a break.
And we'll try and see at the end here. There's some people talking about whether Tyrone Wheatley was down. Cannot really see right there. We'll see if we'll get it from this angle right here. Kevin Henry has him wrapped up, and he looks like he could be down. We'll see if John Gruden gets an opportunity to review this.
Alexander may have knocked the ball away,
but looks like his left knee might have been on the ground.
Oakland has challenged the ruling on the field that this is not a fumble.
I'm sure someone is keeping a statistic in the NFL about successful coaches' challenges. And who is one of the top guys in the NFL doing that? I would imagine Gruden's as good as there is.
Well, an interesting situation with Pittsburgh last week. They ran out of challenges when they had an opportunity for a better one. You can see right there, it looks to me like he's got that ball tucked away when his left knee is on the ground. It comes loose after he would be considered down. See what we got from this angle. This one's going to be a little botched up because of Kelvin Clancy moving in right there. That one angle that we just saw, I really feel gives you a pretty definitive look at his left knee being down and then the ball coming out. He's still got it tucked away. Brent Alexander is stripping it.
I don't know.
He's down right now. He's down right now.
That ball was loose, though. I'd like to see that one more time. I think the ball
we'll
was
call
loose.
down to Bob Dekas and see if he can give that to us one more time.
We've got a great shot from our director, Mark Grant. Entire CBS crew. Let's watch his knee. I'll tell you when the ball is loose. Ball is loose right there.
Okay,
his knee is down.
Yep.
That's
Kevin Harlan with the eagle eyes up here.
That baby's a fumble. That baby's a fumble. A loss probably will knock the Steelers out of the playoffs, and a win will ensure nothing for Bill Cowher. And on the top there you see John Gruden right now, the top-seeded team in the AFC through 13 weeks. They lead Tennessee and Miami by 1 game for home field throughout.
All right, sell me your point again.
All right.
Give me the sell.
The ball is loose. The knee is not down. That was a little bit faster than I'd like to see it, but it should be. Well, let's see what time it is.
The ruling on the field stands. This is a fumble. The ball was loose prior to his knee touching the ground. First down for Pittsburgh.
Well done, Kevin Harlan
is charged a timeout.
And now, for only the 11th time, a drive will start in Raider territory. That is the fewest in the league. That's exactly where the Steelers find themselves now, inside the Raider 45.
And that's a credit to the Oakland Raiders offense. They do not give the ball away. They're very disciplined in that. Another one of those things that John Gruden has brought to this organization. That professionalism we talked about at the top, the attention to detail, the little things. And one of those things is ball security and protecting the football. And that is why people haven't had the opportunity to start with a short field.
44-yard line. Graham has been ineffective in his previous series. 1st and 10. Stewart out with a sprained knee for the game. He's gone. And a handoff goes to the first back through, and that is rookie Dan Kreider, who has played this season without any carries until today. The first carry of the season of his career for the game. Kreider rambled 22 yards.
And he's got to be kind of bummed out because his average just came down tremendously right now. He went 1 for 21, and now he's 2 for 23, so he's down to like 11.5 yards per carry.
2nd down and 9 inside the 43. There's a handoff with a nice block by the tight end Bruner. The tackle made by Pope, and Bennis shimmies down near the 36-yard line on a gain of 6.
Let's go back and see what Tyrone Wheatley thought about that call. He doesn't like it. He gives it a little pie face.
He had missed a couple games because of sprained ankles.
Yes.
Ankle.
Yeah, we had the Kansas City game several weeks ago, and he came into that game less than 100% and re-sprained another ankle, or re-sprained the same ankle that day.
3rd down and 2 from the Raider 36 for Pittsburgh. Bettis again. No place to run here. Hit once by Reagan. Upshot tackle by Beekert. And no place to go right there. Beekert has been sensational this season, and like we said before, the strength of the defense.
That play was made by William Thomas, though, on the outside, with pressure from the outside, stuffing the run, and then Greg Beekert coming in from the inside to make the play. They have a very good group of linebackers with the Oakland Raiders. A lot of the attention will go to the defensive line because of what they have done to the opposition's quarterback, but Elijah Alexander, Greg Beekert, William Thomas, a very good core of linebackers also.
4th straight drive without a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Miller will try to pooch punt this, although Darian Gordon is back, and he'll catch it. Fair caught back at the 12-yard line, 26-yard punt. Miller does his job. And Monday on CBS begins with the King of Queens, starring Kevin James and Jerry Stiller, followed by the new hit comedy Yes Dear. Then don't miss Monday's #1 comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by Becker starring Ted Danson. Then the legendary Tina Turner takes the stage in her last concert tour ever. Tina won last time. All on CBS Monday as it is disgruntled. And Graham takes a look. 3.5 to play in the first half. Oakland with 2 timeouts. Pittsburgh and Bill Cowher with all 3. Fake end around. Wheatley again. Tied up and brought down in the middle as he nudges his way near the 15 on a gain of 1. And at the bottom of the pile, Levon Kirkland, 2nd down.
And a lot of people watching the game are wondering what this Tim Brown coming in motion or James Jett coming in motion, the fake reverse, why are they doing that? What they're doing that is to hold the backside contained so he can't fall into the play. And as soon as John Gruden sees that guy getting careless and starting to move down to the inside and not respecting that, they will hand that ball off to the wide receiver on the reverse.
2nd down, 9 from the 15. They're going once to Brown. There's the second reception and the second pass to Brown today. Up near the 22-yard line, close to a Raider first down. And a host of Steelers are there, like Kevin Henry and Earl Holmes.
And Tim Brown is a guy that just does all the little things for you. He just turns it on a little short route, gets you the yardage to put you in a position to convert on 3rd and short. And when you talk to Dwayne Washington, you talk to Chad Scott, what they call him is the technician. He's the guy that you know is going to be precise in his routes. He's going to be there for Rich Gannon. He's going to be his go-to guy in critical situations.
Approaching the 2-minute warning. They got to get the play off before the 2-minute. 3rd down, 1 from the 22. It's Wheatley with the block on the play from Ritchie, and a first first down, a gain of 3 up to the 25, which takes us to the 2-minute warning. Earl Holmes and Levon Kirkland with the stops. 2-minute warning. Eric Allen's interception returned for a touchdown, the big play for the Raiders.
This holiday, you can give them a computer.
Cordell Stewart is out after a 19-yard touchdown pass. Sprained his right knee. Kevin Harlan alongside Daryl Moose Johnston. Defense has been the calling card today for both teams.
On both sides of the football, the Pittsburgh defense has come out and shut down the NFL's #1 rushing game, but the Oakland defense has knocked out another quarterback and scored the touchdown for the Oakland Raiders today.
First down and 10 at the 25. 2-minute warning. 3 timeouts for Pittsburgh, 2 for Oakland, and the pass is bobbled and incomplete as they went for Jerry Porter, who is a rookie from West Virginia. He's only caught 1 pass all season, inactive the last 3 weeks, and missing right there. 2nd down and 10. .156 to play before halftime. Jet and Brown, the receivers, from the 25. Flags are down, as you can see. It looked like Gannon wanted to change the play. Steelers came into today 6-6, and those 6 wins matched their win total of last season. They ended last year losing 7 of 8, and the rest of the road after the Raiders, very difficult. They've got the Giants next week at New York. Redskins come here, then they finish on Christmas Eve in San Diego.
Some very uncharacteristic things going on with the Steelers football teams. The 2 late seasons collapses the previous 2 years. But the thing that's really disturbing to me is the fact that they have lost 12 out of the last 16 football games here at Three River Stadium. And this is one of the most difficult places to play.
Encroachment, defensive nose tackle. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
That should be Kimo von Oelhoffen. 67, because he's playing the tackle in the 34 defense, and sure enough it is.
He came across, made contact. He's got to sit there. Barrett Robbins is just making calls to his offensive linemen as they change the play, as you pointed out. So Kimo's got to sit in. He can't make contact.
2nd and 5 from the 30. Good block by Wisniewski, and Sims the pass. Great catch by tight end Ricky Dudley, the former college basketball player at Ohio State, leaping high for the rebound. 18-yard gain. And they spot the ball at the Raider 49.
And I'm surprised that Ricky Dudley is not a more prominent feature. Here he is right here at the tight end spot. But when you've got guys like Tim Brown and Andre Rison, and you've got a good running game, Ricky Dudley should have the opportunity to exploit things down the middle and get matchups with linebackers with his athletic ability that are mismatches for the Oakland Raiders.
First catch of the day there from the 49. 1st and 10. Dumping it off to the fullback, Ritchie. Bulldozing his way past the 40. Grabbed around the ankles and brought down by Dwayne Washington after a gain of 16 yards to the Steeler 35-yard line. Another Raider first down. NASDAQ.com halftime is on deck. Jim, Mike, and Randy with scores and highlights. 1st down and 10 from the 35 of Pittsburgh. Wisniewski, another nice block. The pass right on the money, and it's caught at the 21-yard line by Tim Brown. A quick timeout called by Gannon. 1:16 to play. A pickup of 14 yards. Mark it at the 21-yard line with another first down for the Raiders on the move.
Give up touchdowns in that part of the field.
After the timeout by the Raiders from the Steeler 21. First down and 10 yards to go. The pump fake by Gannon, looking for options. Here comes Smith. Dumps it off where it's caught by Randy Jordan. We got a wonderful block and gallops in for a Raider touchdown. 21-yard touchdown. And the Raiders annex their lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That was a very, very impressive drive all the way down the field. And what happens again is when Rich Gannon scrambles to the left or right, he wants to throw the ball. If he goes up the middle, he's going to probably run. You see right there, Randy Jordan just slips out after helping out with protection. And what a great block downfield by Tim Brown, the guy who does everything you ask him to do and everything necessary to win football games.
Janikowski's extra point is good. And Jordan with his second career touchdown. And the first this year by the quarterback Gannon, his 20th of the season.
You can see Randy Jordan right there just helping out. Then he sees Rich in trouble. He just breaks out, and we'll see if we can pick up Tim Brown's block down here. There's Tim Brown right there on Chad Scott. What a great block. That's what you have to have downfield if you're going to have long touchdowns or long plays.
And the kickoff with a high bounce picked up by Will Blackwell. And the kick by Janikowski, chased by Brooks, chased by Dunn, and ridden out of bounds by Travian Smith. Oh, and they're howling now for the Raiders. They are playing inspired football. It didn't begin that way because Pittsburgh looked great. And look how great Miami looks over Buffalo. And Denver on top of New Orleans in a high-scoring game. Like we said before, the Broncos had scored 76 points the last 2 games on offense coming into today. So they are red hot. Pittsburgh with 3 timeouts, Raiders with 1. 60 seconds remaining in the first half from the 19, 1st and 10. Huntley's in the backfield and 4 receivers deployed by Graham. Blocked by Marvell Smith. Here comes the rush. Brought down by Reagan Upshaw. Another sack for Upshaw. His 5th of the season. And the Raiders as a defense today have authored 4 sacks. They are all over the Steeler offense.
And watch Richard Huntley again on Reagan Upshaw. He goes to hit him. He knocks him off to the point where his tackle overplays him. So there's a fine line there. You want to help out, but you don't want to take the guy off your tackle.
2nd down, 16 with the pass caught by Bobby Shaw, who caught the touchdown earlier. Clock continues to tick. Steelers with 3 timeouts, but the clock is running at the 18-yard line, and now play is stopped. And has a timeout been called? I would assume it has.
Well, if I was Pittsburgh, I'd just like to get into the locker room right now.
Bad spot. Put it up at the 20. Yeah, just walking and breathing to the locker room.
I would run the ball right here and hope that the clock runs out.
Now 3rd down and about 9 with the movement of the ball. Was it the 18? We just saw him move it up to the 20.
Please reset the game clock to 13 seconds, and it will start on my wind. 13 seconds. Thank you.
And it starts right now. Says Tom White. 3rd down and 9 from the 20. And the handoff will go to Richard Huntley to wind out the clock, and he's brought down by Marquez Pope. And that is Pittsburgh's first down since 4 minutes left in the first quarter. As the boos cascade from the upper decks here at Three Rivers Stadium. Raiders lead at 17-7. Coming up next, the NASDAQ.com halftime report after this message from your local station.
Monday, who's going to make the beefcake calendar?
Heavenly God is probably...
What happened, Randy, on his first pass attempt? Well, he started 5-of-7 for 66 yards, did Cordell Stewart in the first pass. Eric Allen, his 6th touchdown return for a touchdown in his career. And that is a huge play for the Raiders. That gives them a little momentum. And when they got momentum, they actually got Gannon, too, who will move around, run around, and find a way to get the ball here to Randy Jordan, 21 yards. The Raiders aren't doing it pretty, but they're being methodical, and they're taking advantage of mistakes. If the Raiders win and Buffalo loses, which it looks like it...
In Pittsburgh this afternoon, the injury to Cordell Stewart after throwing a touchdown pass to begin the game and give the Steelers an initial lead. Kevin Harlan alongside Daryl Moose Johnston. They told us he was out, but just literally seconds ago, we watch him on the sideline, and he has his helmet, the jacket is off, and he was warming up with one of the receivers. I don't know what to think now.
So we don't know, because what we heard when the injury happened, that he was going to be out for the remainder of the game, and you'll see here on the hit, as he goes back to throw, he comes in, he gets submarine down low. Now, they told us it was a right knee sprain. We're assuming this was the hit, so hopefully this is not as bad, and we're hearing now that he's going to give it a shot as the second half starts, and they're going to need him in there. They really did not do a whole lot offensively when Kent Grand came in there.
From a confidence standpoint, if nothing else, you lose the quarterback, and I'm sure you had situations like this in Dallas when Troy Aikman was gone, going into a big game, and sometimes, it can take the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, and Kent doesn't get a lot of work during the course of the week, so it's a big loss, and that's one of the reasons that the Raiders, have had success. They've continued to do that, and you can see why right here. 4 sacks. They've lost 25 yards, but obviously on one of those sacks, they lost Cordell Stewart for over half of the first half. And we'll have to wait and see how effective he will be coming back from that knee sprain that supposedly or initially had put him out of the game.
Well, have you had that before? Can they just wrap up your knee and make it close to as good as new?
Well, it depends on how bad the sprain is and where the sprain has occurred. But, with a guy who's as mobile as Cordell, it's going to be interesting to see.
On a bounce, Poteet from the 1-yard line is driven down. Randy Jordan along with Jerry Porter, that rookie wide receiver, were all over him. And a pretty effective kick, and you can hear the cheers as Cordell Stewart, bad right wheel and all, has put some air back in the tire, and there he is.
And how nice is that for Cordell Stewart, because he's not accustomed to walking on the football field to a round of cheers from the fans here at Three River Stadium.
Especially here, you're exactly right. He's been maligned, but here he is. He's coming off perhaps his most effective game since '97. And last week he threw 3 touchdown passes against the Cincinnati Bengals. So, with that bad return at about the 9, it's first down and 10. Stewart rips a pass outside the tight end Warner with the catch and brought down by William Thomas, the ex-Eagle, for a gain of 5 and place him at about the 14-yard line.
And we kind of were talking here at halftime why they had Kent Grand come out on the first play, throw a pass that Eric Allen returned for a touchdown after being on the bench and being called. But they come out and do the same thing with Cordell Stewart, a guy who hasn't played since late in the first quarter, comes out and his first play is another pass play.
2 tight ends. That was the first catch, by the way, moments ago by a Steeler tight end today. Second down and 5 near the 14. It's Bettis with a block and a tackle by Grady Jackson. Devours him up near the 20 and a Pittsburgh first down. Jackson with the tackle. Gain of 6.
And going back and watching the Oakland Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints exposed the interior of their defensive line with quick trap plays. We remember what Dan Kreider did in the first half. The first play of the game, a 21-yard gain. Later, another medium-sized gain. There, Jerome Bettis. All that same play, that same quick inside trap that was effective by the New Orleans Saints against the Raiders defense.
Good point. First down and 10. Up near the 20-yard line for Stewart, back in the game, hobbled though he may be. Here comes the rush by Beaker, chasing Stewart from behind. He gets him. 5 Oakland sacks today. Beaker with his second season sack, his second in 2 weeks. He had one last week against Atlanta.
And you could see by Cordell Stewart's reaction that he is not 100%. He's not moving as well as he could be. So for him to be out there, that says a lot to me. He was supposed to be out for the remainder of the game. His team struggled while he was out. He's decided to give it a shot. But you can see right there that is not the same Cordell Stewart that started this football game.
Second down and 16 with the sack. Mark it back at the 14-yard line. Play clock at 1. Timeout quickly called by Stewart.
Timeout.
2 left for the Steelers. He saw something he did not like. Touchdown pass by Gannon to Jordan. Interception return for a touchdown in the first half by Eric Allen. The first half, which saw Cordell Stewart throw a touchdown pass, get knocked out of the game. Now a heavily bandaged right knee is giving it a try. Second down and 16 at the 14-yard line. Deploying 4 receivers. Stewart with Russell coming up the middle. Pocket crumbles, fumble, reeled in by Stewart. Gets away from Beaker, running up with the block from Huntley. Oh my gosh, what a run! Houdini is alive, an 18-yard run. Woodson made the tackle. He looks pretty spry right there. A first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, I take back everything I said. This does look like the same Cordell Stewart from the first half. And he's got such composure here because he loses the ball inside the 5-yard line. Let me just pick it up and get going. And look at the work downfield by the guys. There it is. Richard Huntley with a great block downfield. And he gets enough for the first down. You just can't defend that.
That was sensational to watch. You're a football fan. You've got to appreciate, especially with the bad right knee. So outside the 31-yard line, new life for the Steelers, who trail by 10. Hines Ward is on the move. Stewart at the controls. Bettis with the carry. Not much there as he runs into the teeth of the Raider defense and picks up perhaps 2. He's up to the 33-yard line. Log on to NFL.com. Find out who's in, who's out, and who's on the playoff bubble, like the Steelers. It's all at NFL.com. A win today by Oakland, and a loss or a tie by both Buffalo, losing now badly to Miami, or the Colts, playing after this at the Jets, will get the Raiders in the playoffs. 2nd down and 8, shy of the 33. The block by Marvell Smith. The time for Stewart. The pass right on the money, and it's caught by Hines Ward. Working on Woodson. The gain is up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 10. Another Pittsburgh Steeler first down.
And this goes back to Cordell Stewart being truly comfortable with his position as a starter, having the opportunity to come back, and Hines Ward is his go-to guy. He's been their playmaker in the passing game. And Charles Woodson there matched up with him. That's going to be a tough matchup all day. He is the one guy that they have got to get out of their passing game and force Bobby Shaw and Troy Edwards to step up and make plays.
7th play of the drive, 43-yard line, Pittsburgh. First down and 10. Good time again for Stewart. Reagan Upshaw. That pass had to sail out of bounds. Upshaw again was all. Upshaw's had 2 sacks today. He has been on fire.
And we talked about Lance Johnstone being a guy that they want to sit down to make sure he's healthy. Reagan Upshaw is the guy playing his spot. And as you pointed out, he has been the guy that has consistently been back in the quarterback's pocket all day long. He has been disruptive throughout the course of the football game today, putting pressure on Cordell Stewart and Kent Graham.
Is that Wayne Gandy struggling at that left tackle? It's got to be.
Well, I think he's just not ready for Reagan's speed. You know, they talked to us that Lance was the true speed rusher. He's using a lot of quickness instead of using that bull rush to try and run him over.
2nd and 10 for the 43. Bettis again. There's a block by Thanigan. A huge hole for the bus. Driving inside the 45-yard line of the Raiders. Knocked down at the 44. Tackle made by Pope. It's a gain of 13 yards for Jerome Bettis.
And you can see the difference in just the emotion of this offense, because now Jerome Bettis is going to have Cordell Stewart in there. Rich Tilsky pulls and kicks out William Thomas. A nice job there. And if you get Jerome Bettis with squared shoulders heading downfield, Marcus Pope better be ready, because he is going to get pumped up. He is a guy that wants to carry this offense on his shoulders.
Inside the Raider 45. First down and 10 to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hand off to Bettis again. This time Darrell Russell got a hand on him, then he's whacked inside by Alexander, and a gain of 1 is all that defense of the Raiders will allow. The Raider defense 19th in the NFL, high top 5 ranking in a couple categories, and very stout against the run.
And it starts with Grady Jackson and Darrell Russell inside. In the middle, they're just 2 huge tackles, and it's very difficult to get movement on these guys, and especially when you're a trapping team, which Pittsburgh likes to do a lot. They'll pull guys and trap, and you saw the quickness right there of Darrell Russell for a big guy, able to beat a lineman quick and get down the line of scrimmage to make a tackle.
2nd and 9 as Pittsburgh began this drive at their 9 from the 43. Here comes Brian Stewart, deftly moves up and throws a pass caught by Ward. The former Georgia quarterback, 36-yard line of the Raiders, picks up 7 yards. Woodson with the tackle. They're working a lot on Woodson.
And this is a matchup that you would think would favor Charles Woodson. Hines Ward is their playmaker, but Charles Woodson, the Pro Bowl cornerback. But look at the way he works back to the football. Hines Ward does not stand there and let the ball come to him to give Charles Woodson the opportunity to come over his shoulder and deflect the ball away. He works back towards Cordell Stewart and doesn't give him that opportunity so he can catch the ball.
Tight ends come out. Huntley comes in. Bettis is out. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. 3rd long 2. 11th play of the drive from the 37 of Oakland. Here comes Russell, but he tumbles in the pass. Caught. Bobby Shaw squeaking inside for a Steeler first down. Mark him at the 28-yard line. A gain of 8. And Cordell Stewart, back in the game after being knocked out in the first quarter, has ignited the Steeler offense.
and they get that bunch package out to the left. You run combination routes out there. Bobby Shaw, their guy that likes to come across the middle, the guy that moves the chains on third down. And we talked with Bill Cowher. He says not only does he accept that role, but he excels at it. He has been their missing link. They have been searching for that third wide receiver all year. Bobby Shaw finally just getting healthy for the Steelers.
2 catches on third downs today. 1st and 10 from the Raider 28. A block by Marvell Smith. The pass down the sideline, incomplete, looking for Troy Edwards. Last year's #1 pick out of Louisiana Tech. And with the defender falling, he just about made it work.
And the opportunity to have that ball thrown is because of Dan Kreider, my fullback right here. Look who he gets the block. Darrell Russell, a big defensive tackle. What a great job. He stays with him the whole time, gives Cordell the opportunity to stand in the pocket. There must have been a miscommunication on the front line because fullbacks usually don't have to block defensive tackles in passing situations.
Kreider, a rookie free agent from New Hampshire, re-signed off the practice squad when John Whitman went down.
He is a good football player. I've been impressed watching him play on film.
Raider 28, 2nd and 10. Bettis right into the grasp of Jackson, slips away, breaking a tackle, then finally Woodson brings him down. Inside the 25, he should have lost a yard, he gains 3 instead. At the Raider 25, Jackson does not let too many runners slip away.
No, he does not, but he's not going to see many runners like Jerome Bettis. A guy with that size and those quick feet, that's just an unusual combination. You don't expect a guy that's as big as Jerome to have that nifty of footwork.
Well, 53 yards today for the bus, and it looks like Charles Woodson is down, so we have an injury timeout at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh.
On CBS is sponsored by American Century Investments. Yahoo Sports, fresh sports news 24 hours a day. And by Saturn, now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series.
Steelers in the midst of a 7-minute drive. Raiders haven't had the ball in the second half. 14th play coming up for Pittsburgh. Woodson walking off under his own power. Branch takes his place. It's a dime secondary now for the Raiders. It's 3rd down and 7. From the Oakland 25. Stewart, fake end around to Shaw. Time for Stewart. Wide open is Huntley. Inside the 15. Got a block. Inside the 10. Then wrapped up by Branch. 19-yard gain. 1st and goal to go. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
And there was a lot going on in that play. They had a fake reverse coming around. They dropped back. They looked like they might throw a score or a screen pass. You'll see here. There's the first play. There's the fake reverse. Now they set back. It looks like it's going to be a screen, but here comes Richard Huntley into the flat. Very difficult for the defenders to stay with everything going on in the backfield of the Pittsburgh Steelers right there.
2 catches for Huntley, both on 3rd down today. Now, goal to go. At the 6-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. It's Bettis. Grabbed from behind in the line of scrimmage, and Biekert is all over him. He had a sack earlier in the game. Reagan Upshaw getting off up the pile. No gain. 2nd down goal at the 6.
2 guys' names we've been calling quite a bit this afternoon. Greg Biekert and Reagan Upshaw. Both these guys having excellent games for the Oakland Raiders defense. And Greg Biekert, really the heart and soul of that defense. A very intelligent player, a very physical player. Great combination. Fits well into the defensive scheme of the Oakland Raiders.
2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Bettis by himself. 2nd goal at the 6. 16th play of the drive. It lasted 8 minutes. Stewart again. Moves up to the 5-yard line. He throws it to Bruner, who's grabbed by Branch. Oh, my goodness, backing in. It's a Steeler touchdown. Can you believe it? Stewart throws his 2nd touchdown pass today.
This is just an unbelievable effort by Mark Bruner. He comes back to the ball. Right, there's the 2-yard line. He's all the way back to the 4.5. He does not give up. Calvin Branch cannot get him to the ground. What an incredible individual effort by Mark Bruner.
The Chris Brown extra point is up and in. Bruner, who had gone 2 years without catching a touchdown pass until last week in Cincinnati, catches another one today against the Raiders. And a new game in Three Rivers. We're late in the 3rd,
Now, this is how the glove do it.
Give my ball back.
Well, then take your ball in. Yeah, the glove. Did you see it? Me, mostly me. It's my domain. The glove. Hey, hold on, man. You ain't gonna be disrespecting me like that. When I ain't looking, huh? Oh, boy, that's something else.
Hey, guys, give me a hand carrying this stuff up to the 3rd floor?
Love to, but we're late for this thing.
Yeah, sorry. That's cool.
You know, those stairs are kind of tricky.
Yeah.
That's a bad call.
On every frequency, he makes no sense.
They were going to knock you in the mouth.
Sundays on CBS.
Cordell Stewart's return has gotten this capacity crowd into a frenzy with a spectacular drive. A 3-point lead now for Oakland, and the subsequent kickoff by Brown. It's David Dunn, who returned one last week for 88 yards, racing up the middle, grabbed on the play and nailed. Hit by Jason Simmons and Hank Poteet in a 25-yard return. The Steelers showing life. Let's see how the best team in the AFC responds.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by True Value, where help is just around the corner. And by Nike Shots, Boeing thoroughly experienced and explained on Nike.com.
Well, whenever the Goodyear blimp is hovering above a game with its camera focused on an event, you know you're going to get a unique view. And overhead today is the blimp Spirit of Goodyear. Thank you, gentlemen, for the wonderful scenics here in gorgeous Pittsburgh. From the 32, 1st and 10. We should reacquaint ourselves with the Oakland offense. It's Wheatley running into his own blocker, Mo Collins, and then wrapped up by Alexander and Gilden and Von Oelhoffen for a gain of 3 near the 35-yard line. It's been a long time since we've seen Gannon and crew.
And really, you take into account the halftime that they spend in the locker room and then the opening drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers over 9 minutes. So this Oakland offense has not been on the field. They have not been active for quite a while. And we'll see how they respond. You brought up the point. The first part of the game started like this with Pittsburgh being very emotional. They're back at that level right now.
2nd down and 7 from the 35. Blocked by Sims. Time for game. Ball's deflected on the Karen Brown tried to dive for it. Jousting with Alexander. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 7.
And John Gruden, Bill Cowher really felt that he could do this to Rich Gannon. If his guys could get up in the passing lanes, get their arms up, he felt that they could tip some footballs. With the controlled rush, you'll see some stunts going on within the defensive line, but nobody getting out of position.
Kevin Henry, I believe, got a hand on it. 3rd down and 7 from the 35. Jordan and Ritchie in the backfield. Gannon sets to throw. Good block by Wisniewski, and Robbins the pass. Caught by Tim Brown. Crossing midfield, picks up a 1st down. Lee Flowers and Townsend make the tackle. It's a gain of 16 yards on 3rd and 7 to the Steeler 49.
And what a huge play by Tim Brown and Rich Gannon, because that really takes the life out of the defense and the crowd. And Tim Brown with an opportunity today to set a lot of different records. He is moving way up in the charts, an opportunity to move into the top 10 all-time in yards. He's just got an opportunity to do some real special things today, especially if he continues to make the critical plays like that last one.
We just passed Michael Irvin for number 11 in the history of the NFL. 1st and 10, Wheatley outside, grab by Holmes. Fumble on the play, and it's on the carpet at the 48. With the pile ensuing, and they'll have to rip him off. Earl Holmes was there. You see the pointing and the body language from both teams as they unravel at about the 49, 48-yard line of the Steelers. Wheatley has fumbled once already. This would be his 2nd of the day. It is Pittsburgh's ball, and my hasn't this game turned around.
Well, you talked about it coming out of halftime. What was Pittsburgh going to do to try and get back into this football game? The biggest thing they've done is get Cordell Stewart back on the field. He has absolutely energized this football team and this football stadium. And here the defense now picking up after where the offense left off. Here comes Earl Holmes around everything. You see him there as he goes down to the ground. He strips Tyrone Wheatley of the football. Looks like Jason Gilden might have come in all the way from the other side to get it. There's Earl Holmes. He hits him. He wraps up. He strips the ball loose. And it looks like it's Jason Gilden all the way across the field from the opposite side. That is what this defense does. They get 11 guys to the football. just in case of a situation like that where the ball is on the ground.
2 Oakland turnovers, 1 for the Steelers. Near the 49, Pittsburgh takes over on the Wheatley fumble, 1st and 10. The pitch out to the bus with a Kreider block. A nice play by Elijah Alexander. The 8-year veteran wearing number 58 for the Raiders, and he is fired up. You know what is so interesting about Bettis? He and Ricky Waters were in the same backfield at Notre Dame for a short time, but they were in the same backfield. Both have the same fire, both have the same passion and emotion, and that's what gets Bettis going.
Really, and he's just picking up where Cordell Stewart started with that last drive. And now you've got him, you've got Cordell. You saw the effort of Mark Bruner on the touchdown, and the offense, what they did on their opening drive, carried over the defense to create that turnover. Oakland has got to have a stop here. They have got to make Pittsburgh punt the football or they are in trouble.
2nd down, 11, back at the 48. The bus again. Breaks a tackle, grabbed by Beaker, crawls past midfield. May have gotten the ball inside Raider territory for a gain of a couple. That sets up 3rd and 9. And Friday on CBS, when an airline passenger ends up dead, investigators have to solve the mystery before their crime scene flies away. Check out an all-new CSI Crime Scene Investigation Friday on CBS. Kevin Harlan, Moose Johnston from Three Rivers in Pittsburgh. Cordell Stewart knocked out in the first half. Playing Lazarus in the second. 3rd down and 9. He's already thrown a touchdown pass and is coming back from the injury. Here comes Johnstone. Here comes Bryant. The pass flutters incomplete. They were crushing the pocket. And down went Stewart. With all kinds of pressure, Bryant was there, but the sides were pinching in. It's 4th and 9, and the Steelers can't cash in on the Oakland fumble.
And when you talk to people about Cordell Stewart, what do you see that's different with him is the fact that he stays in the pocket. And he stays in the pocket right there until the last possible second. Greedy Jackson with a big hit on him, but he's not looking to run the football anymore. He used to drop back when everything broke down or his first progression was not open. He would break contain and try and run with the football. He's now standing in there and delivering.
Josh Miller at the Pittsburgh punt. Darian Gordon stands by and ready at about the 11-yard line. Waves off the ball, landing inside the 5. Townsend knocks it back in. That should be a line ball, and it should be down by Jason Simmons. And now they're saying the Raiders may have touched it, and it's Pittsburgh's ball.
I have no idea what Darian Gordon was doing right there.
A conference ensues, 48-yard punt. Deshae Townsend leapt in the end zone, knocked it back in play. Simmons was letting it roll. And as it stands now, it must have touched a Raider. The initial ruling is Pittsburgh's ball, but you can see the ensuing conference, so there's a lot to be decided as of yet.
Well, what happens is the player from Pittsburgh that went into the end zone to bat the ball back. The ball is still live. Now, I think what Darian Gordon did, if you down the ball and walk away without handing it to the official and it's not whistle dead, you can pick the football up and run with it and nothing bad can happen. But this ball is still live. There's Deshae Townsend. He gets the ball back in play. Now, that is a live ball right now. It has not been downed yet. So if Darian Gordon touched...
Oh, my goodness. He touched the ball. That's Pittsburgh's ball.
That's a live football. That is Pittsburgh. What he thought happened, if you down the ball and just leave it there, like you thought that the ref blew the whistle and you walk away, he can come up and pick that ball up and run, and if he fumbles, nothing bad can happen. It would come back and be 1st and 10, Pittsburgh or Oakland right there. But that was a live ball. That was not touched down by a Pittsburgh defender, and it was not whistled by the referee.
We've had one challenge today, and that was a correct ruling by this crew on a Wheatley fumble. Let's see what this is.
This should be Pittsburgh ball.
Illegal touching by the kicking team at the 2-yard line. The subsequent activity where the kicking team touched the ball, the receiving team touched the ball, with the kicking team recovered it, they're not entitled to the ball by virtue of the illegal touch at the 2-yard line. It's Oakland's ball.
I did not see that. That's the part I did not see. I did not see Pittsburgh touch the ball. Unless Ainsley Battles was down there. Let's see.
Now somebody must touch it from the right now. Now somebody must touch it.
Yeah, it is me. Very good call by Tom White. Outstanding call, but the Raiders are marooned.
Cannonballs, $129 online. 88 hula hoops, $60 online. Elephant shampoo, $42 online. Not having to pay for any weird charges that show up on your bill? Priceless. With MasterCard, you're not responsible for unauthorized purchases on the web or anywhere. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
She will always remember Christmas 2000. How is up to you. A diamond is forever.
Mom, I'm telling you. Mom, we're not going to be able to...
I've been using cellular.
What? You fell for that?
You brought static into the house.
I got rid of it.
Did they teach you at college?
No, I got this free and clear thing.
You're just like your uncle.
It's different. They're all digital, and their long distance is real.
Darian Gordon, and he's a veteran too, so you're surprised that he went in there in the thicket of Steelers and tried to get the ball.
There's nothing good could have come out of that play that Darian Gordon was trying to make. Very fortunate.
Now stranded at the 2-yard line, Raiders 1st and 10. And Wheatley up the middle, charging hard and grabbed by Levon Kirkland as he nears the 7-yard line and trying to get the Raiders some breathing space. Picks up a hard-earned 6 yards on the play. It should not overshadow, though, the great play by Deshae Townsend on the special teams to leap into the end zone, not get his feet on the carpet, and knock the ball back in play.
Great special teams play by the Pittsburgh punt coverage team, especially Deshae Townsend.
Crockett is in the game, 2nd down and 4 from the 7. The fake handoff, some play action, a good block by Crockett, who held him around the ankle, and the pass is caught by fullback John Ritchie at about the 11-yard line, shy of a 1st down by a yard. Gilden was held by Crockett, who had gone down to block him.
And that's one of the matchups we talked about, because the outside linebackers in this system, the 3-4 defense, they will be matched up with running backs at times, and it's going to be very important for the running backs of the Oakland Raiders to be able to block these guys, because Jason Gilden has 10 sacks and Joey Porter has 9 sacks. That's where the pressure comes from in the 3-4 defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's 3rd and long, one outside the 10. Raiders holding on to a slim 3-point lead. It's Wheatley with a stutter step and a dive, hit by Kevin Henry, doused by Holmes, and let's see how close they are to a 1st down. They had to get, as you can see at the top of your screen, just beyond the 12. Cordell Stewart has thrown 2 touchdown passes today. Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass. Stewart had to leave the game early with a sprained right knee, and the initial word was he would not return. Retaped in the locker room at halftime. His first drive lasted over 8 minutes and 16 plays and a touchdown pass, which gets Pittsburgh back in this game against first place Oakland with the ball now and shy of a 1st down. The Raiders come in 1st place in the AFC West, the best record overall in the AFC, and tied with Minnesota for the best record in the NFL. If they win today and both Buffalo and the Colts lose, then the Oakland Raiders will be in the playoffs with a 10-2 record coming in today. Pittsburgh at 6-6. You can see they didn't get the 1st down, so they've got a punt.
And this has been kind of an ebb and flow game filled with emotion, where one team gets it and then loses it. The other team picks it up for a while. Then the defense will make a big stop. The other team's offense will get emotional lift again, and it's flowed back and forth. Right now, Pittsburgh has really claimed all the emotion in this football game with the emergence of Cordell Stewart coming back out to start the 2nd half.
Butler to punish. They set up the return. Poteet is back at about his 40-yard line. Circles with the catch at the 40. Got a great block. Finds a crack up the middle. Spinning and brought down by Jerry Porter, the rookie wide receiver at the Oakland 48. A 49-yard punt. A 13-yard return by Hank Poteet, a rookie from Pitt. And you can see the Raiders coming in at 10-2. Pittsburgh, a loss probably knocks them out of the playoffs, but a win doesn't necessarily ensure anything at all. They've got to keep winning.
It keeps them alive for another week, and then they've got to come out next week and win another football game. But Oakland controls their destiny. If they win out, they will secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the AFC.
Steelers have lost 3 of their last 4. They've had a very streaky season. Both teams coming off crushing wins last week. Steelers over Cincinnati, Raiders over Atlanta. Inside the 48, Hines Ward in motion. Cordell Stewart, 1st and 10. With time, good block by Smith in the pass, dropped across the middle by tight end Mark Bruner, who caught a touchdown pass earlier in the second half. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Here we're in Three Rivers Stadium, second to last game before they demolish it in February. It has been a house of horrors for Stewart. Booed all the time, except for today. He has been outstanding.
And it was really, really nice as he came out at the start of the second half to see the response that he got from this crowd, because he has been maligned through the last couple of years by his home team crowd. He has actually felt more comfortable on the road playing in the opposition stadium.
2nd and 10 outside the Raider 47. With the block from Kreider. Big hole for Jerome Bettis, and there he goes. Breaking tackles. Eric Allen holding on for dear life. Bickert brought him down. Marked it at the Oakland Raiders 17-yard line. A devastating run by Jerome Bettis, gaining 30 on the play, a season high.
And he just explodes through this hole. And Oakland's defensive front has been twisting the whole game. And you see right there that it actually worked against them. There was nobody there. And the bus just went right down the field. He exploded through that hole.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Raiders 17, Pittsburgh 14. Back to Pittsburgh after this. Begin the 4th quarter. Kevin Harlan, Daryl Moose Johnston. 17-14 the Raiders. Going up against an emotional Bill Cowher and the Steelers today. It's 1st and 10, Pittsburgh at the Oakland 17. 3 receivers deployed. Hines Ward is in motion. And Stewart with the bad wheel. Here comes the rush, and he throws it down. He was within the tight ends. A receiver probably with...
Number 99 knocked the ball down.
That's it. Good call by Tom White. This crew has had an outstanding day. Josh Taves was up the middle.
And this is one of the things that Cordell Stewart has learned. The first half, he threw a ball down into the middle of the field a couple times. The rest of the game, with the pressure that the front has put on, he has made smart plays. Got away with one there, because if that doesn't hit Josh Taves, he's going to get a grounding penalty.
2nd down and 10 at the 17-yard line of the Raiders. Shaw's the 3rd receiver. And a quick timeout taken now, and Pittsburgh will be left with a single timeout remaining. So Stewart has to burn his 2nd timeout. We're just into the 4th with the Raiders on top 17-14. Raiders have only had 1 first down in the second half. Kevin Harlan along with Daryl Moose Johnston. The return of Cordell Stewart has been huge.
That's been the big lift this second half. He came in and gave the stands an emotional lift, the fans, the players. Jerome Bettis started to play with emotion, and football is still a game of emotion, and it's really carried over since Cordell Stewart came back out to be the starter this half.
On the 17, 2nd down and 10 after the Steeler timeout. Quarterback draw with the bad wheel. A good block by Bettis. Breaks a tackle at Dorsett. Down the sideline. Another great block. Touchdown. And Pittsburgh has regained the lead. What bad leg. What injury.
I am so impressed with what Cordell Stewart has done since he's come back. He was not supposed to come back today. He had a similar scramble for a first down in the 3rd quarter that kept the drive alive when they came out and scored. That one there was even better. And exactly, what bad leg.
This Browns extra point. Cordell Stewart has accounted for 10 touchdowns in less than 3 games. 2 touchdown passes today. Then this sparkling 17-yard touchdown run.
On CBS is sponsored by the world's most popular ATVs, Honda, best on earth. Zales, the diamond store. And by Subway, showing the world how great a fresh-made sandwich can taste. Subway, eat fresh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have scored 14 unanswered points. Our second lead change finds the Steelers on top, 21-17. The ensuing kickoff done inside the 20-yard line. The ex-Steeler running outside. He's chased by Huntley and Poteet, and then whacked out of bounds by Deshae Townsend. So the special teams are fired up. He's out to the 32-yard line. Let's watch it again.
And we thought this was a scramble, but watch Roger Duffy and Rich Tilsky. This is a quarterback draw called with a quarterback who's got a sprained right knee and is not supposed to play. You can see Roger Duffy go downfield. Jerome Bettis with a great block on Greg Beekert. Anthony Dorsett with the first missed tackle. Josh Taves, William Thomas, Reagan Upshaw, all missed tackles as Cordell Stewart makes his way into the end zone.
Great blocks also by Courtney Hawkins and Faneca, the left guard. Now, how does the best team record-wise in the AFC respond? Kaufman's in the backfield, 4 receivers, 32-yard line. Gannon first and 10. Quickly across the middle, and it's Andre Rison, who's grabbed by Jason Simmons. It's a gain of 9 up to the 41-yard line. And the Oakland Raider defense registering 5 sacks today. Early on, Eric Allen, 50th career interception, returned 27 yards for a touchdown. Wheatley has put it on the carpet twice today. Stewart injured, but he has thrown for 2 touchdowns and run for another. He's been great. The anguish of John Gruden, the youngest head coach in the NFL, second down and 1 at the 41. Gannon, the MVP candidate, going long, wide open. Tim Brown down the sideline, getting by Chad Scott, taken down by Lee Flowers, all the way to the 19-yard line of the Steelers. A 40-yard game. Someday he will be in Canton, Ohio.
And this is the mark of a championship football team, a team that has had things go against them the course of this half. And what do? They come back and they make big plays. They go to their big play guy, Tim Brown. He's the most consistent guy in the passing offense, putting themselves in a position to get back into this football game and take the lead.
And he's over 1,000 receiving yards for the 8th consecutive year. Boy, they're having trouble, all kinds of trouble. You see the play clock from the 19 of Pittsburgh, first and 10. It goes off to Crockett, who hurdles over the Wisniewski block and then is drilled by Holmes after a gain of 2. Mark him at the 17.
That was a whole lot of talking for that play. You would have thought they would have come up with something a little bit different. Probably an audible at the line of scrimmage that they saw, and then people just didn't, the play didn't click in their heads. So everybody trying to make sure that everybody was on the same page, get everybody lined up correctly, and run that explosive play off left tackle for 2 yards.
Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass. Allen with the interception return for a touchdown off of Kent Graham, who took the place of the injured Cordell Stewart. Second down and 8, 17 of Pittsburgh. A block by Kennedy. Time for Gannon. He'll run. Keegan Henry from behind will bring him down at the 13-yard line. And that's a gain of 4. As Wisniewski and Holmes and Henry jaw after it, setting up 3rd down and 4.
And that's what you have to be careful about with Rich Gannon. They will have a lot of crossing routes. Their backs will release and break to the flat, or they will also cross in front. And if everything disappears and your tackles lose their rush lanes in the middle, Rich Gannon will take off down the field. So they've got to be very disciplined while they're pressuring the quarterback at the nose tackle and the 2 tackle positions in this 3-4 defense.
Good point. Watch out for James Jett. He's been a big 3rd down receiver today. 3rd down and 4 outside the 13. Dunn is in motion. The fake pitch. A good block by Dudley. Here comes Gilden. Gannon threw it away. A flag is thrown. He was between the tight ends. That'll be grounding. You've got to be outside the tight end. And Jason Gilden, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, all over Rich Gannon of the Oakland Raiders. And the flag is indeed against the Raider offense and Gannon. Gilden has been spectacular, and of course when you think of this defense of Pittsburgh, you think of the great history of linebackers with this team.
Especially at the outside linebacker position.
Greg Lloyd,
Kevin Green.
All
big sack guys, all big quarterback pressure guys.
Now they've got Jason Gilden. All right, they've moved the ball back.
Intentional grounding. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot because the spot of the foul was not more than 10 yards. It's also loss of down. It's 4th down.
And the most important thing here for the Raiders, it moves it from a 31-yard to a 42-yard field goal attempt.
And that's the athleticism of Jason Gilden. That was a bootleg pass. There was a little bit of a block there. But to be able to get Rich Gannon down out in space like that. Rich Gannon is a very athletic quarterback. Jason Gilden matched him with ability and got him down to the ground.
Adam True with the high snap, pulled down by Leckler, and the second field goal today by Sebastian Janikowski. Good there from 42. Earlier today from 40 yards. It's a one-point game in Pittsburgh.
I wouldn't.
What?
I just wouldn't.
One what?
Sometimes you think field goals are easy, but I want you to watch Sebastian's feet, and then when he starts to move, then watch his eyes as the high snap comes in. He'll tap his feet a little bit. Now he's watching the ball. But what he's able to do is maintain his rhythm and get through and kick the ball. Earlier in the season, he would have missed that. 7 of his first 13 he missed.
And it's Poteet juggling it at the 10. Running up past the 30 and brought down on the play by Johnny Harris, a return of 23 yards. And at the 32. Now this is a familiar situation for the Raiders this year. They've come back to win these games this season.
But a situation you don't want to put yourself into. But yeah, it's the Oakland Raiders have shown that they have got the qualities of a football team that can come back and win in these situations. But it will be up to the Pittsburgh Steelers to try and move the ball, get another one of those long drives, take time off the clock, no turnovers, force Oakland to drive the long field.
Steelers have one timeout from the 32, 1st and 10 with a Kreider block. There goes Bettis, gets a nice block from Faneca, breaks a tackle from Woodson, runs into Dorsett, and he's run out of bounds, but he gets the first down. A 12-yard game, and the bus is riding high. He's got 96 yards today. Now, on the other hand, we just saw the good side for the Oakland Raiders. Let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4 of them in the fourth quarter they've lost.
And they have really had a tough stretch. They're a 6-6 football team, but as you can see right there, if they're able to win the games that they are leading in the fourth quarter, they're also a 10-2 football team. So that's why a lot of people felt good about the matchup today against the Oakland Raiders. This situation, though, Oakland can come back. Pittsburgh can't hold the lead. We'll see if any of that changes the rest of the day.
44-yard line, 1st down and 10. Bettis again, another Kreider block. This time they stuff him. Beekert leads the charge. Elijah Alexander, and a meager gain of 1 is allowed. It'll be a 2nd down and 9. You see other scores. Miami has not won in Buffalo, and it seems like forever. 30-6 is that score right now. And Denver taking care of New Orleans, with St. Louis losing at Carolina. That's a surprise. 2nd down and 9 from the 45. Stewart, a block from Gandy, and a pass outside. Reeled in by Hines Ward. Tackled by Alexander and Allen. It's a gain of 8, and spot him at the 48 of the Raiders.
And that has been a real connection throughout the course of this football game today. Cordell Stewart and Hines Ward, just real precision. Short passes. The timing has been excellent between the quarterback and the receiver. You can see Hines Ward push him off. He snaps around. The ball is delivered on time. And that is one of the big improvements that Cordell Stewart has made. He's making good decisions, and he's getting the ball thrown on time.
3rd down and 1 inside the 48. The 3rd down conversion story. And 3rd and short today. The block by Duffy. Here goes Stewart. The pass. And that is caught. 45-yard line. Hines Ward makes the grab and should have the first down as they'll spot him at the 44 of the Raiders. Stewart looks nimble out of the pocket. And again, this is a guy who left the game with a bad right knee in the first quarter.
He had the huge scramble on the opening drive of the second half, and then he had the quarterback draw for the touchdown, and now they've got him moving the pockets, getting him out on the corner. And you can see again the Oakland Raiders coming in, really pushing the envelope with these hits on the quarterback. They've been flagged 9 times for him. They've got to watch out. They've got to pull off. Nothing stupid in that situation.
First time the Raiders have played here since 1980. 1st and 10 from the 44. The block by Kreider. Here comes the rush, and the pass by Stewart. Wobbles incomplete and whistles over the head of tight end Mark Bruner. And again, Stewart has to scrape himself off the turf here in Pittsburgh. That sets up 2nd down and 10. And tonight on 60 Minutes, a police officer who blew his career by blowing the whistle on dishonest cops. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Kevin Harlan, Daryl Moose Johnston from Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, where it's about 32 degrees, not much breeze. Actually, a great day for football.
Like to see Pittsburgh get back into that quick trap game that they were using earlier in this football game, early in the first half with Dan Kreider and then also Jerome Bettis.
Second down 10 for the Raider 44. Changing the play. Quick drop, quick throw. On the knees on the near side, Courtney Hawkins at the 40-yard line. A slow gain of 4 on the play. They've got to get down to the Raider 34, so this sets up third down and about 6 to go.
Cordell Stewart continuing to take what the defense is going to give him. He's not forcing anything. He's not making any poor decisions. You've seen him outside the pocket throwing the ball away, being able to line up and run another play. He's been doing a very good job. He's got very good control of the offense right now, making very good decisions.
And he's been a great third down passer today. 3rd and 6 near the 40 of the Raiders. Huntley in the backfield. Bruner, the tight end, is on the move. The Gandy block. The time for Stewart. Winds up, fires a pass, and that's incomplete. And off the fingertips of his receiver, Courtney Hawkins. So it's incomplete. It's 4th down. What would you do on 4th and 6 with this kind of field position?
Oh, definitely punt the football. We saw them earlier execute a punt with Deshae Townsend knocking the ball back in play, getting it down at the 2-yard line. Make Oakland drive the length of the field. Don't go for it in 4th down here and give them a short field. They have a very explosive offense. Punt the ball down and make them drive a long way for any type of points.
So you don't expect a fake?
I do not expect a fake.
And Cowher has had a lot of those up his sleeves over the years. Josh Miller will punt. You see Gordon at the top of your screen. And Miller will try to pooch it. Gordon will let it fly, and that ricochets into the end zone. Last time Gordon touched it, we had a big melee. 40-yard punt by Miller, who has a little conversation with Reagan Upshaw, and we've got a timeout.
Check it out.
On CBS is sponsored by the world's fastest shaver, Panasonic. Sonic Shaving. Get up to speed. And by Rolaids. Rolaids. R-O-L-A-I-D-S spells relief.
Back in Pittsburgh, Kevin Harlan alongside Daryl Moose Johnston. And moments ago,
watch this. Reagan Upshaw spits in Josh Miller's face. This is absolutely unbelievable. You'll see right here, the referee is standing. You saw the spit right in his face. There is absolutely no place in this game for actions like that. Reagan Upshaw should be fined. He should be suspended. It's a disrespect to the player, and it's a disrespect to the people who have played the game before and the game itself.
Reminds you that Bill Romanowski, J.J. Stokes incident. 1st down and 10 from the 20. Ball batted down nicely by Deshae Townsend. Leaping in front of Brown. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And this is a defensive lineman with a punter. What has he got to prove to him? I mean, that's idiotic, Reagan Upshaw.
Romanowski and J.J. Stokes had the same thing happen a couple years ago, and if I'm not mistaken, Romanowski was fined.
He was. Reagan Upshaw should be fined. He should be fined as much as he possibly can. He should be suspended for a game. There's absolutely no place in the game of football for actions like that.
Kaufman is in the game. 2nd down and 10 from the Raider 20. The pitch out to Kaufman. A lead block by Sims. A good block by Dunley. And he's driven down by Brent Alexander after a gain of 5. And he's near the 25-yard line. Clock continues to tick. Pittsburgh with 1 timeout. Oakland with 3.
Napoleon Kaufman, a guy we thought we'd see a little bit more of today. He tweaked his ham a little bit late in the practice week last week. Talked to him before the game today in the field. Said he felt good. John Gruden says he's great on carpet. And when you saw what Fred Taylor did to the Steelers defense running the cutback, which is Napoleon's strength, I was really surprised not to see him involved more in the running game today.
Randy Jordan is in now. Kaufman, by the way, 4 carries, 5 yards from the 25, 3rd and 5. Brown is on the move. The block by Kennedy. The time for Gannon. The throw across the middle, and it's received at about the 32. It's a 1st down. Tim Brown makes the grab. A 7-yard gain on 3rd down and 5. And the Raiders operating with 3 timeouts and trailing by a point.
And the guy that you got to stop in those situations is Tim Brown. Rich Gannon is going to find him. He's been the go-to guy in those situations throughout the day. Earlier today, it was James Jett. He was the guy that was able to get open. He was the guy that Rich Gannon was finding. But lately, it has been Tim Brown, and the Steelers have to adjust defensively and take care of that situation.
6 catches today, by the way, for Brown. 1st and 10, play action by Gannon from his 32. Rolling, pumping. Von Oelhoffen is hot on his heels, as is Gilden. And he runs out of bounds, a scamper of 7 yards for Rich Gannon. I asked you before, I'll ask you again. Is he the MVP of the NFL?
he's got to be one of the guys you consider. And you look at him right there. He's talking to Tyrone Wheatley. He knows that he made a mistake. He makes sure everybody knows what they're doing. And the one thing that drives Rich Gannon crazy is when people do not know what to do on the football field. He expects everybody to approach the mental football game the way he does. And it drives him crazy when guys can't line up or they don't know what to do on a play.
Second down and 3 from the 39. The fake to Wheatley, who offers a block. Great time. Look at the block by Kennedy, number 72. And the pass wide open is the tight end Dudley to the 41 of Pittsburgh. Alexander and Gilden, the tackles. A big gain of 21 yards from Rich Gannon to his angular tight end, Ricky Dudley.
And you're not going to be able to cover somebody that long. And what Bill Cowher wanted the guys to do was have a controlled pass rush, not allow Rich Gannon to find running lanes. And if he did throw the ball, he felt they could bat some down. But what that does is it puts tremendous amount of pressure on your defensive secondary because now they have got to stay on their man. Ricky Dudley able to find an opening. Rich Gannon will find you if you can get open.
41-yard line of Pittsburgh, 1st and 10. James Jett on the move. They fake the end around. They give it off to the slippery Kaufman, slithering his way down to the 30-yard line and a gain of 11. Jason Gilden, the tackle. Another first down for the Raiders, moving it well with 3 timeouts in their pocket.
And here's the changeup that Oakland can present to you as a defense. They've got Tyrone Wheatley, who's a power runner between the tackles, and now they've got Napoleon Kaufman, the quick little scat back. Look at him explode through the hole. A tremendous amount of quickness, a big change of pace from the style that Tyrone Wheatley runs with.
He has the number 1 average in the NFL, by the way, coming into today, over 5.5 yards per carry. It's a first down at the 30 of Pittsburgh. Looking once, good block by Mo Collins. Here comes a scrambling Gannon. Look at the time. Look at the blocking by Wisniewski. The chase by Kendrick Clancy and out of bounds. That was a coverage play if ever I've seen one. A gain of 4 for the 34-year-old quarterback, Rich Gannon. And they spot the ball at about the 26, and a police officer who blew his career by blowing the whistle on dishonest cops tonight on 60 Minutes. Followed by an all-new episode of Touched by an Angel, then Scott Bakula and Eva Marie Saint star in the CBS Sunday movie Papa's Angels. It's all here. Don't miss it tonight on CBS. The Raiders took over at their own 20 with 7:47 left. Upcoming is the 8th play of the drive. It's 2nd down and 6 from the 26 of Pittsburgh. Oakland down by 1. Here comes Joey Porter. There's the pass by Gannon, incomplete. And the pressure from the backside and Porter may have played a role in that.
And those are the matchups that we talked about early in the game because of the defense, the way they play this. The outside linebackers are the guy that will bring pressure on the quarterback. Now, you can fan your tackle out on one of them, but because it's Joey Porter and Jason Gilden, one of those guys will be matched up on a running back. On that time, John Ritchie got matched up with a blitzing Joey Porter and was able to hold him off, but I think he did force Rich Gannon to step up into the pocket and disrupt his rhythm.
Gannon today a touchdown pass, 2 Janikowski field goals, an interception return of 27 yards for a touchdown by Allen. 3rd down and 6 from the 26. Here they come. Henry in his face. The pass is caught by Mo Collins. Flags litter the field. 4 of them. As Mo Collins makes his first reception as an NFL player. He's a 3rd-year player out of Florida. They sent Townsend up the middle. They sent Kevin Henry up the middle. And this penalty will easily go against the Raiders. As Tom White and his crew have had a wonderful day officiating. And indeed, it's against Oakland.
They really have done a tremendous job today with some interesting situations as plays have unfolded. They have been on top of this football game and made great calls.
Janikowski has kicked 2 field goals already today from 40 and 42 yards. So let's get the feel of what is going to transpire here on the call and the situation for the Raiders.
I feel bad for the offensive lineman, though, in this situation. If that ball is coming to you, I mean, there's no way you're not going to... Your instinct is to catch the ball and take off running like Mo Collins did. I mean, it's impossible to have the presence of mind to bat the ball down or let it hit the ground. I mean, the guys don't have an opportunity to do this all the time.
He's 325
And it's a great
pounds.
call because here comes the blitz. They're coming up the middle. They've got everybody pulled off, and it's a screen. They've got the right play called.
It's a good catch.
But yeah, it's a great catch. Look at the big man. Then he gets down to the ground, doesn't take the big hit, so he chance of fumbling the ball.
Let's go down to Tom White.
Illegal touch, number 79. That penalty is declined. They'll take the result of the play, which is an incomplete pass. 4th down.
Okay, now it's 4th down You see the position. They're going to try for 3. And here's the play again.
And Napoleon Kaufman runs into Mo Collins, and as he leaves to go out to the other side, Rich Gannon throws it to the area, so Mo just grabs a hold of it and turns upfield.
All right. 4:06 to play. Janikowski's been perfect this afternoon. This will be a 44-yard try. Remember the last snap by Adam True was high and brought down by Leckler. A rookie holder, a rookie kicker. And this will be for the lead. The True snap. And the kick is up, and it is no good. He's kicked 2 game-winning field goals this season as the rookie Sebastian Janikowski. But he misses there. Gruden sends his defense back out onto the field, and 3:59 remaining.
Well, the snap in the hole, much better this time, actually perfect. Last time they were able to convert this with a very poor mechanic in the snap in the hole, but he just pushes it a little bit outside to the left.
Raiders first place in the AFC West. Best record in the AFC and tied for the best record with the Minnesota Vikings. And now Pittsburgh will take over on the miss from the 34, 1st and 10. And it's Bettis with a Kreider block. And a Rich Tilsky block. And he's out to the 36-yard line and brought down by Josh Taves. Pittsburgh operating with the timeout. Oakland has all 3. The Steelers, a loss today to Oakland, probably knocking them out of the playoffs. But a win will ensure nothing. For the Raiders, if they win and losses or ties by both Buffalo and the Colts, they get a playoff berth. Well, they want home field. They want to win out. Bettis 100 yards on the ground. It's 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Hines Ward is on the move. The hand to Bettis. Oh, and a wonderful block thrown on the play. And there he goes. Chased by Allen. Run out of bounds by Dorsett. And a sit on the bench is what he deserves after his day today. A 22-yard gallop by Jerome Bettis. And mark him out at the 41-yard line of the Oakland Raiders.
And when you talk about a wide receiver making the block, usually it's downfield. Watch Hines Ward. He's going to come in and crack on Marquez Pope, the strong safety. This is a great job being able to find your way through there. Look at that Hines Ward. What a great play. Unbelievable, because most of the time those will be downfield. They'll be getting somebody's way, deflecting somebody, but actually motion in and come down and crack. What a great job.
His coach, Bill Cowher, says he's the best blocking wide receiver in the NFL. It's 1st down and 10 from the 41. Bettis again. Good block by Fanneken. And inside the 35, muscling is Bettis. Tackled by Eric Allen on a gain of 7. A hard-earned 7 yards.
Hines just did it again. He just came in and hit Marquez Pope again.
It's been outstanding. Oakland at 10-2. The Steelers have got to win, and there are a lot of teams ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 8 teams lead by 1 game. There is no margin for error for this Pittsburgh team. Steelers with 1 timeout. 2:30 on the clock. Play clock is at 7.
Oakland with all 3. They're going to need some time left on this clock. They got to start thinking about using them.
Bettis again on 2nd and 4 from the 35. Matt Cushing, a reserve tight end, trying to lead the way. And working his way to the 32-yard line is Bettis. Pickup of about 3.
If I'm the Raiders, I take one right now and then get another one at the 2-minute warning.
31-yard line will mark the 1st down, so it's 3rd and 1.
They're going to let him run all the way down.
Why don't they stop the clock?
I do not know. I do not know. I guess they'll figure if they stop him here and force him to kick.
Because you have a timeout, then the 2-minute warning, and then 2 more.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh looking for the upset. Raiders have a 2-game lead over the 2nd place Denver Broncos to hold the tiebreaker. Denver is crushing New Orleans. Oakland is losing right now to Pittsburgh.
And we'll see what John Gruden's going to do with the clock management. They will run the ball here on 3rd and short. Even with a stop, they can take this clock down inside a minute and a half.
3rd and 1. Bettis. Oh, he didn't get the 1st down. A fumble on the play, and then it's picked up by Pittsburgh at the 35. Grabbed by Wayne Gandy as Grady Jackson knocked it free. Now 1:52 to play. That is Bettis' first fumble in well over 370 touches. First fumble in his last 379 rushes and catches.
And he hasn't lost a fumble in over 420.
That is unbelievable. And you can see his disgust. And Monday on CBS, legendary superstar Tina Turner takes the stage in her last concert tour ever. Tina one last time live Monday on CBS.
And my wife had an opportunity to see that concert when they came to Dallas. So for those of you who have not seen Tina Turner, you're definitely going to want to tune into that.
Kevin Harlan, Daryl Moose Johnston. It is now 4th down. Here comes Josh Miller, the punter for the Steelers, out onto the field. Oakland took a timeout, 2 left for them. The Pittsburgh Steelers in this game scored 14 unanswered points, getting the lead 21-17. Now they lead it 21-20. Oakland, when they get the ball, if they get the ball, will have 2 timeouts. Miller to punt. It's 4th down from the 35. Darian Gordon is stationed somewhere about the 10-yard line. It's high, it's hanging, and it was signaled for, and a fair catch. It's loose and down inside the 10-yard line. Miller's had a wonderful day punting, especially on these tight corners that he's had to creep in. Janikowski just missed a 44-yard possible game-leading field goal in Week 7. A 43-yard winning field goal at Kansas City. Raiders by 3 there. And then in San Diego, a couple weeks later, Week 9, a 24-yard game-winning field goal. And the Raiders won that one on a game that Janikowski kicked 5 field goals, 15-12.
And that's what he was brought in here as the first-round draft pick of the Oakland Raiders. A lot of people question that pick, but because they lost so many close games last year, they felt they needed to bring him in.
Buckle up, folks, from the 10, 1st and 10. 2 timeouts for Gannon with plenty of time in the toss. Right on the money and caught by James Jett. 1st down, gain of 11 at the 21. Chad Scott was beaten. Clock continues to tick at 1:25. It's 1st and 10, 21-yard line. The block by both Collins and Wisniewski, and wisely Gannon throws it away. That was a coverage play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The pass whistling over the head of Andre Rison.
And Rich Gannon, a great guy to have in this position, because we've seen all afternoon how composed he is in the pocket. He makes great decisions. He will run if he has to, even in this situation, because when he runs, he is able to move the ball down the field. He doesn't scramble for 3, 4, 5 yards. When Rich Gannon runs, it's because there is a huge gash in the defense. He will exploit that for big gains. So Pittsburgh has to be careful. Even though this is a hurry-up situation, they've got to be conscious of Rich Gannon.
Jordan in the backfield with Richie's 2nd down and 10 from the 21. Jordan with the chip block, and Gannon with the sidearm pass caught by Andre Rison. It's loose. It may be a fumble at the 32. They mark him down at the 35. They mark him down at the 35. The play stands as a 14-yard reception. Chad Scott drilled him. The clock is at 57 seconds and stopped.
And we'll take a look at the end of this play and see if the officials have called a perfect game today. They really haven't missed anything. Andre Rison right there. Hard to see from that angle. The ball obviously coming loose, but was his knee down? Hard to see from that angle.
Well, coaches can't challenge. It's all going to be done upstairs in the press box, and this will be handled by the league and by the crew and not the coaches inside 2 minutes. And that's the call from Tom White.
The player is ruled down by contact. That's a 1st down.
So they don't review it upstairs, to the dismay of Bill Cowher. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
That is an unreviewable play because they determined that he was down by contact.
And there was a whistle.
Correction. The runner is not ruled down by contact. The pointing was meaning that forward progress was established at that point. 1st down.
It's all right. You still have a clean slate.
What they're talking about is the point of forward progress right there. Andre Rison getting driven back inside the 35-yard line, so they bring the ball back to where he made the reception, established his farthest point of contact.
Raiders with 2 timeouts, 35-yard line, 1st down and 10 yards to go. And Gannon with some blocking, moves up deftly in the pocket, weaves through traffic, shovel pass, and Jordan dropped it. Incomplete pass to his running back, who earlier caught a touchdown today. Randy Jordan. The flag is down at the 40-yard line. Did he cross the line of scrimmage?
And I've never seen anybody with a better sense of where the line of scrimmage is than Rich Gannon, especially when everything breaks down and he starts moving. This would be a surprise to me, but it looks like he might have been across by quite a bit. I was very surprised to see that ball come out. I thought he was going downfield with it.
Rich Gannon came into today as the 7th-rated quarterback in the NFL. He's from nearby Philadelphia. A lot of family and friends on hand here. A good game last week against Atlanta. 2 Wheatley turnovers, though, have put the dent on the Oakland offense today. Cordell Stewart has been the story, though. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 running touchdown. Gannon has a touchdown pass. Janikowski moments ago missed a possible game-leading field goal for the Oakland Raiders. But there's something that tells me that he's going to get another chance. Raiders have had 4 come-from-behind wins in the 4th quarter this year. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, has blown 4 fourth-quarter leads.
Illegal forward pass. The quarterback was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. That'll be a 5-yard penalty plus a loss of down.
And there's the big part of that penalty right there, is the fact that you also lose the down. So this will be 2nd and 15 as opposed to 1st and 15.
That's number 3, like the 3rd championship.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 10.
It was it.
The top-seeded AFC team through 13 weeks, the Oakland Raiders, are trailing right now by a single point, 21-20. Moments ago, Oakland was in field goal range, and Janikowski missed a possible game-leading 44-yard kick. Kevin Harlan, Daryl Moose Johnston at Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, and the situation we're in right now is that Rich Gannon just threw a shovel pass after he crossed the line of scrimmage. And so they're figuring out where the ball should be, and the penalty is Bill Cowher's team scored 14 unanswered points to take their lead in the second half.
And as you can see there, the line of scrimmage was the 35-yard line, and Rich Gannon always has a presence, especially with a bold mark like that. He's well across. He's over a yard across that, obviously, and the officials today, we have talked about this, they have called an incredible game. They have not missed anything. So not surprising that they were right on top of that one also.
So Tom White will talk to the observer upstairs in a booth right next to us. Oakland has 2 timeouts remaining. Pittsburgh has 1. The Oakland Raiders, if they win today with losses or ties by both Buffalo, losing badly to Miami now, and the Colts later on today to the Jets, would get a playoff berth, but they've got to win this game, of course, against Pittsburgh.
And right now, a situation that they have found themselves in, they have been able to win games from behind. Pittsburgh has struggled to maintain leads, but this is a critical play here. Rich Gannon, the line of scrimmage is a 35, and he has passed it right now. His foot past the line of scrimmage, the ball passed.
So the only thing I can figure is why he's looking at it in the monitors to figure out where he stepped out so he can mark the penalty off from that point.
That's the only thing I can think of, because it's obviously they've already made the call that he has been across the line of scrimmage, and from that angle right there, you can see he is well past the 35-yard line. So I think they're just trying to figure out how to assess the penalty and what the 2nd down yardage will be.
Pittsburgh Steelers, should they win, will just stay alive in the playoff race. But it ensures nothing, and a loss may knock out the Steelers. But the big story today, Cordell Stewart, a touchdown pass of 19 yards, the first time they had the ball today against this great Raider defense. Then on the next series, he went out with a bad knee. Graham took over. The team went down the tubes till halftime. That's when Stewart got retaped. Air was put back in his wheel, and he has been sensational in this second half. throwing a touchdown pass and running in a 17-yarder for a touchdown.
And the emotional lift that the team got with Cordell Stewart coming back, because we were told he would be out for the rest of the football game. All of a sudden, Jerome Bettis starts playing harder. Mark Bruner, a great effort for a touchdown. The defense picks up. The fans get back into it. So Cordell Stewart, not only what he did on the football field in leading the offense, but also his presence and the emotion that he brought to the football team and Three River Stadium, a huge lift of this second half.
You mentioned Bettis, 128 yards today. Oakland is coming off a 3-1 November. Their first winning record in the month of November since 1991. And now they begin December. And we talked to John Gruden. He said to have 10 wins before December is huge. But to get 11 the first week of December would be even bigger. And that's what they're looking at right now, although the upset-minded Steelers are on top by 1 as they continue to volley the referee, Tom White, from one side to the other as he explains in detail what's going on to both Gruden there and Bill Cowher moments ago. As Seattle has beaten Atlanta, that is a final score. Seattle at 5-8, and John Kitna was the quarterback. Heward was not in there. A good one in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia at 9-4 over Tennessee at 9-3. Tennessee losing last week to Jacksonville. And the Giants with a huge win at FedEx Field, beating Washington 9-7. This coming a couple weeks after Jim Fossil had guaranteed the playoffs. And the Buccaneers win again. They shattered Buffalo last week, and they take care of 4-9 Dallas today, 27-7. One of the big stories today, Miami crushing Buffalo. Miami has never won a game in Buffalo after Thanksgiving. They're 0-5 late in the season. I think they finally figured it out. And we're out of material now, folks. We have nothing else to talk about. So this has got to carry us right here.
If they don't snap the ball, there'll be a period of silence.
Yes. But it's taken them a long time to figure out what they're going to do. They mark it at the 33 when he easily threw that shuffle pass at the 36. So now it is 2nd down and 12. 3 receivers platoon for Gannon. Ritchie and Jordan with blocks. The pass drops. Chad Scott was blanketing Tim Brown. Incomplete pass. 40 seconds remain. The Raiders have 2 timeouts. The Steelers have 1. And we're seeing 6 and now 7 defensive backs in there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh trying for the upset. It's 3rd and 12. With the Raiders with the best record in the AFC at the 33. The block by Kennedy. Great time for Gannon. Shuffling up. Being chased. Gets away from Smith. And doused at the 43-yard line by Joey Porter. They mark him at the 43. Shy of the first down by 2. It's a gain of 10 or 11 yards depending on the slot. Inside the 44. They've got to get to the 45. Now Gruden has a decision with 4th and 1, 2 timeouts, and 31 seconds to play. Seems pretty easy.
Oh yeah, this is the hardest decision is what play to call.
That's what
for
I'm saying.
John Gruden.
That's what I'm saying.
How many timeouts do they have? 1 timeout left. So if you run the ball just to convert, you're going to have to use that other timeout because you're down to 31 seconds unless you can get everybody hurried up and spike the ball. If you throw a pass on 4th down to try and get people to the sidelines to convert the first down and then kill the clock immediately, look for Pittsburgh to expect something like that. And then you run the risk of throwing the incomplete and the ball going back to Pittsburgh. So I would think that they would run the ball, get the first down, with Gannon on the move to the outside. Give him a run-throw option on the corner. If he doesn't like what he sees, to throw the ball quickly, allows him to run the football for the first down and get out of bounds.
Denver is winning down in New Orleans, so this game has huge ramifications for Oakland with a 2-game lead on the Broncos, but the Broncos have beaten Oakland twice this year. 4th and a long one from the 43. Gannon, first down pass, caught by Tim Brown near midfield, a gain of 7 yards, and tackled by Chad Scott at the 50. Clock continues to tick. Oakland with the timeout. And he just spikes the ball, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 50 with 19 seconds remaining. Sebastian Janikowski's longest field goal this year, 54 yards. By the way, that is the longest in the AFC this season.
And he was kicking on the field today pre-game from 54 to 55 yards. It was going the other way. I don't know what the wind conditions are right now, but he was making 55-yard field goals. That would put him needing to get to the 38-yard line.
First and 10 from midfield. Second down and 10. And here's the pass outside. Caught by running back Randy Jordan. Wisely scampers out of bounds. Scott shoved him shy of the first down at the Steeler 42. So now it'll be third down and a couple to go.
And they've got that one timeout left, which allows them to throw the ball into the middle of the field, be able to call the timeout and get the field goal unit on without being rushed. We're inside 17 seconds, which means they can't get stopped on the field and have an opportunity to get that field goal team on the field. So the one timeout allows Rich Gannon to take a look at the middle of the football field.
Inside the 42, third and a long one in Pittsburgh territory. Two receivers for Gannon. With time, good block by Jordan. Holding off Townsend, the pass batted down by Kimo von Oelhoffen at the 40. 7 seconds remain. The clock is stopped, 7 seconds. I think Gannon is trying to talk himself into one more play.
And Pittsburgh continuing to pressure. Randy Jordan stepping up and picking up Shea Townsend. Levon Kirkland picked up. Everybody staying controlled, forcing Rich Gannon to move side to side. They don't want to open up the middle of the field. That's when Rich will run with the football.
So one more play. Kevin Harlan alongside Daryl Moose Johnston. One time in this game, Pittsburgh scored 14 unanswered points. Cordell Stewart has accounted for 3 touchdowns, 21-20. 4th and 1. Outside the Pittsburgh 41. There's a pass, and it's thrown in back of Richie. Now you have no choice. You have no choice. So on 4th down, that's it.
I don't like that play call right there. We have 4th down up already. They spiked the ball. That was it.
And that's what they're confused about.
They've got 4th down on the markers on the opposite side.
He spiked it. That was 4th down, as we call it.
Rich Gannon, he did not realize it was 4th down.
The scoreboard was wrong, and that's what Gannon was looking at.
He thought that was 3rd down.
Well, Pittsburgh now not hoping for a repeat of the Missouri-Colorado college football game, that 5-down game in Columbia many college football seasons ago, and the confused Gannon with the rare lapse, but he was looking at the stadium scoreboard, which was wrong.
When I was looking at the play, I mean, looking across the field, the down marker had 4th down because he threw the ball to John Ritchie right at it. So as I looked up, I saw that it was 4th down. But here's the thing. Pittsburgh has had, 3 games go against them where they've had apologies from the NFL officials saying that a mistake that they made during the course of the game on a bad call probably cost them the football game. So here are the Pittsburgh Steelers in their 4th position to have a call at the end of the game go against them to possibly cost them a game. If it's 4 downs, it's 4 downs. It doesn't matter if Rich Gannon looked at the clock and the clock was wrong. If he looked at the markers and the markers were wrong, if it's 4th down, it is 4th down.
And that's what Tom White is on the phone for on the sideline. But remember the spike on 1st and 10 to stop the clock. That was at midfield. The one in the stadium was wrong. And you heard us say 4th down, and our graphic up there in the corner with 4th down was right. But do you think Gruden misplayed it? Would he know it? Well, he would have to know.
Well, you know, at the end of that play, they had time to walk over to the sideline and talk. Rich Gannon walked over to the sideline to talk to John Gruden. So if he was to call that play, I'm assuming that one of them would have made the other aware of the fact that it was 4th down. So there's a possibility that John Gruden didn't know. But I know that Rich Gannon didn't realize that was 4th down.
But that should have come from upstairs. You know how those sidelines are. It is as complex and as an emotional area as you will find. But up in the booth, someone should have notified the sideline. And I'm guessing, and Gruden called the play. So he had to be as much in the dark as Rich Gannon won.
Well, I think he calls a play. He calls a play that's going to convert it. Now, maybe he knew it was 4th down. The play called was a play similar to the one that they converted on 4th and 2 earlier. A little hook by Tim Brown, a little flare by John Ritchie. But the throw by Rich Gannon and his reaction after the incomplete, he obviously felt that that was 3rd down. He did not realize that that was a 4th down play.
A rare lapse.
A very rare lapse. John Gruden is on top of everything. He is a very disciplined coach. He takes all the possible scenarios that can happen during the course of a game into account as he prepares to get his team ready. Very surprised to have them in the situation.
Goes over on downs. It's Pittsburgh's football.
And that's the ball game. Bill Cowher there, by the way, was pointing at current Steeler owner Dan Rooney. So 2 seconds remain. The Steelers are about to pull one of the bigger upsets in the NFL this season and stay alive in the AFC playoff race. Denver wins today. Well, they were winning the last score we had. Oakland losing. And so now 1 game separates the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos in the AFC West. This game belongs to Pittsburgh, orchestrated by Cordell Stewart. A miraculous return in the second half after being knocked out, and we were told not returning for the rest of the game. 3 touchdowns by Stewart. For Darrell Johnston, Kevin Harlan saying so long from 3 River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The final score is in. The Steelers 21, the Raiders 20. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 35.
Cover me, kid! Wow, now that's a 5 o'clock shadow. Hey, what's going on? Let it go, Frank! It's cut out of the air. The ball is pulled in by Franco Harris.
The Raiders and the Steelers. Now that's football. 5 straight years in the 70s they met in the playoffs. 3 times in the AFC Championship game. And if you go from 1974 to 1983, that 10-year span, of the 10 Super Bowls played, 7 were won by either the Steelers or the Raiders. It had been 20 years since the Raiders had come to Three Rivers Stadium, since 1980, a Super Bowl year for Oakland. And since this is the last time around for Three Rivers Stadium, Raiders at Steelers, 1 for the road. Three Rivers Stadium at the Confluence. Bill Cowher against John Gruden. Cordell Stewart. Is this John Stallworth 82? Could be, but it's Bobby Shaw for the touchdown. 7-0 Steelers. Now Stewart leaves with a calf problem. Kent Graham came in, and immediately the game changed. It's Willie Brown. No, it's Eric Allen. Touchdown. 10-7 80s. Third quarter. Cordell coming back. Here come the Steelers. Looking for his big tight end, Benny Cunningham. No, it's Mark Bruner. 6 yards into the end zone, 17-14. Steelers are looking to play Bruner, man.
Well, I think the effort in this rivalry comes through. You see Scott Bruner here take this pass. He gets driven back to the 4-yard line, but he is determined to get in, and he does just that.
In the fourth quarter, it's Jefferson Street Joe Gillum. No, I mean, it's Cordell Stewart. He sheds 1 tackle. 17-yard run. John Kolb with a big block. 21-17, Steelers. John Gruden looking like a thinned-down John Madden after an Oakland punt. Reagan, now, you know what? They got to find him like Romanowski. Spit in the face of Josh Miller. We don't like it. Come on, cut it out. It is the Raiders or Steelers. Can't have it. Can't have it. Raiders driving. Rich Gannon to Tim Brown. And here come their 80s. The Polish left-footed larger version of George Blanda. Sebastian Janikowski, well, maybe not Blanda, misses the 44-yard field goal. He's missed 9 this year. It stays 21-20, under 2 minutes to go. Jerome Bettis, Rocky Blar. No, it's a fumble! His first fumble in 379 carries. There it is. After 2 minutes warning, have the ball. Coaches looking on. Rich Gannon wearing the stakes, number 12, amazingly throwing right-handed to Tim Brown, 7 yards. Then it's Gannon. He's looking to, come on, we got to stop the clock. Tick, 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 stop it. First down. Second down. Gannon looking to Morris Bradshaw. No, it's Randy Jordan, 9 yards. Janikowski getting ready on the sidelines. Would there be a chance for Blanda? 3rd and 1. Gannon's pass knocked down by Kimo von Oelhoffen, a latter-day version of Ernie Holmes. 4th and 1. Gannon to Pete Banaszak. It's John Ritchie. Incomplete. Now, wait a minute. Gannon says it said 3rd down on the sign. Gruden goes, you know what? I really do know it's 4th down. Now, let's see if the refs missed it. Did they miss it? Did they miss it? No, it's the Steelers' ball. And Bill Cowher's Steelers have evoked the memories and maybe the best game of the day all around for both teams, Tom. Steelers 21, the Raiders 20. The Raiders have lost only twice to Denver and now once to Pittsburgh, but that puts their home field march for the playoffs in jeopardy. Tough game.
And even though he threw for modest yards, I think this could be a very important game for Cordell Stewart. Winning a game, big rivalry like this, doing it in front of the home fans, this is something that they and his teammates will remember.
They looked much better when he was in, then went out, then came back in. A big win for the Steelers. When we return.